We better hope this gets recorded, right?
It won't now.
After I was finished.
No, with that attitude.
I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not. All right, clear. Don't cut my mic off.
Yo, what's up? Detroit is definitely in the building via your headphones, stereo speakers. I'm your host, the African Caesar. I am joined by the contrarian of the show, Gino.
What up, though?
Got that gold rollie on that he got at the gas station.
Blame.
And then, which gas station did you get it from?
It's probably a Valero.
Oh, they be having some stuff. And
you would know. You shop there, huh?
No, I don't. I used to, though.
They don't got no Valeros on the east side.
So we still doing that.
They got Firebirds.
Firebirds. U.S. fuel.
If anybody lives in Detroit, you automatically know what we're talking about. We're doing this whole east versus west.
Y'all don't have an Obama gas station over there, do you?
No, they haven't got no Obama phones. They still got the George Bush phones.
No.
The FEMA phones.
No.
Yes.
Well, I got T-Mobile, so I can't tell you what everybody else got. But the asshole of the show, Guru.
Yourself?
Guru.
Nah, not me. Far from it.
Did y'all
Guru.
switch? Y'all switch monikers? Like
Nah, that's him.
No, I was the host.
I could never be
That was
him.
it.
the asshole host.
I could never be
Nope.
like him.
Nope.
I could never. I'm out.
Now you the bad.
On my best worst day,
He is just as bad.
You still got a
He
lead
is just
on
as
me.
bad. Like
No,
off
no.
the air, like matter of fact, we got a negative complaint. Somehow Alan was able to knock it off. I don't know how he did it, and I'm not sure he knows how to do it. But we got a negative complaint because somebody was complaining about the Asian stuff he said recently, and I'm like,
Who?
I don't know.
I like shrimp
Who
fried
said so?
rice.
Did they say I said something Asian?
No, they just said they. They just said they, as if we just had this long-winded conversation about Asians and sneaker culture.
I just know I like shrimp fried rice.
That person's coming back to leave that comment again.
And
I just want to say,
and I like
man,
egg rolls.
if you're
Pretty good.
listening to I apologize if I ever offended anyone from the Asian culture, ethnicity. I really apologize if I ever did. Sneakers is a big thing. I was just trying to make a point about the fake sneakers over there and what it was said in the factories. So if they're doing something bad or committing crimes, you can make fun of people when they're committing crimes like we do on the show and everything. We do it with our own people. But if you are offended, I apologize from the bottom of Caesar's heart.
And there it is.
Most contrite, half-assed apology.
No, you ain't seen Codex.
Oh man, no, that was yeah. Didn't he come up with a video for that song?
Yeah, he did.
Has anybody seen it yet?
Yeah, I did.
Was
It was like a.
was it what I think it was?
It's like a 4-minute backstage trailer.
He's so trash.
I can't do it.
But Kodak, you know what? It has been entertaining seeing him get into it with the older dudes. It has been entertaining though.
I know this kind of makes me feel like we were just talking about people being empowered for no reason.
But here's my thing: I could never get mad at people because they wouldn't have that platform if it wasn't for the fans. Like you got to hold the fans accountable.
No,
Just
for
like,
sure.
Just like if everybody likes this whack YouTuber, then he got some 500,000 subscribers. You can't be mad because he didn't get that power until the people get.
In that instance, yes, but I can using another example. I can be both mad at Trump and his supporters. Like I don't have to just pick one. It's not mutually exclusive.
But if I had to pick, yes, but Trump didn't. Trump was always a butthole, but he didn't get the power until the people
Not
supported
an
him.
asshole. He was
But
a
that's my
butthole.
point.
Yeah.
That sounds
So
worse.
What makes him an asshole?
Huh?
What makes him an asshole? Like I feel like it's a Pokemon. Yeah, he has to grow into that. Like
You gotta
he
evolve.
evolve into.
No, I'm just saying like I just felt his supporters are so annoying. It's
No,
almost like
that's
the
what I'm
Yeezy.
saying.
It's almost like the Yeezy.
He kind of
stuff.
did evolve. He got oranger.
Fatter and older and dumber.
Yep.
Yeah. So we just lost all our Trump supporter and listeners just the last 2 minutes, but we didn't want you anyway.
Exactly. Middle fingers to you.
Yes. Topics today. Adidas is hoping that by going green, they make some green. ASICS is stepping out of the box and out of the comfort zone by sponsoring a running marathon.
Is that really out
That's
the box
not
for them?
out the box.
Oh my
That's
God!
not
It
really
was
out the box.
meant
Out
to
the
be.
box. It's not out
What?
the box.
I was gonna say it's a running shoe, right?
We
Right?
sold ASICs, the Jill Kanyos and all that, bro.
Oh my
That's
God, not them Kayanos. Them Nimbuses.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Hey, them joints
That's-
comfortable
that's
though,
like,
man.
That's like saying Jay-Z stepping out the box and starting a record label. Right? That's what
It was meant to be that way. It was meant to be a joke.
Oh, you said it
Oh,
seriously.
we messed it up.
Yes, that
Oh,
was
you
the
said
point.
it seriously, though.
That
Yeah,
was
you
the
did say it
point.
You said it seriously.
That was the point.
You should have said it like with a smirk on your face.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
usually you throw the paper before you say it. That's how we know you fake mad, but you didn't do that.
Man, some people just over the head.
I mean,
Or-
we all got hats on.
Because
Yeah.
everybody know Asics makes running shoes. So the fact that I'm saying it's out of the box lets you know that it is not seriously.
I mean, they got
First of all, whenever I tease these news stories, I always say it in some type of stupid ass
But
way
most
like
people
this.
don't know. Most people know them. Current people in the sneaker game know them for their lifestyle shoes.
But they're still a running shoe, just like Air Maxes. Everybody knows they're lifestyle shoes at this point, but they're running shoes.
But if you could tell somebody name your favorite lifestyle shoe,
But you know better, and you know better.
but how many is that? That's what 2 out of what 300
Right,
million
but
people?
nobody else came in here and said, hold up, wait. Like, y'all the ones that missed the joke. Not nobody else.
I bet you somebody listening is
I
gonna be
mean-
like, "Oh shit, I know they made running shoes."
It's just like I mean, we have flashbacks. Like when you
Honestly,
say,
when I was writing this out, I never thought that this would be a
You never had to. You
contention.
never had to put an insole in one of them shoes.
exactly, you know what I'm saying, sell
don't
them
make
to
my
a nurse
size.
or doctors and all that. Man,
Yep.
we just had hot flashes, almost like talking about baking soda and the stove with Frank Lucas. That's kind of how you brought up that thing, man. We remember we came from the
Yeah,
mud,
man.
bro. We know how it is, man.
I mean, well, we both did work in Toledo at one point, so yeah, we kind of did come from the mud at
We
one
come
point.
from the mud.
Yeah.
Mud hen. Shout out
That's
to the mud
right.
hen. Toledo. All my people with the gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh my god,
Yeah. Shout out to all the boosters who didn't come to my store and steal.
oh, they did that to me at Champs too. Oh, they used to be
What
scandalous.
store did you
with it.
not work for?
Dude, this was the funniest part about Champs.
And you
So
saw-
I was down there. I was down there just shopping because I took somebody down. I'm like, hey, they got a nice mall. Let's go down there and shop. So I'm chopping it up with one of the guys in there, right? He just brought out this rolling rack full of like brand new hoop shorts. Swear to God, go in the back for 5 minutes, come back out. He like, hey man, what happened to all them shorts I just brought?
They snatch. That's the snatch and grab Olympics. You laughing? This is all serious, bro. It's just bad.
That's just like how we saw on camera this lady that was pretending to be pregnant. The white lady too. Oh, she was getting down, like straight getting down. We caught her on camera. She walk around. She was so polite too. She'd be like, "Oh no, I'm just looking. You go leave her alone. She get behind one of them racks. You don't think nothing of it because you like, you look like you don't steal. And then you be looking. You be like, damn, I brought out about 6 pairs of shorts and put them on this rack. Where they all go? Then you go run back, check the cameras. She got your ass.
I had a customer tell me when I was down there in Toledo. She was like, "How much is Nike Tech jacket?" I was like, $100. I was like, "Oh my god, it's too much. I'm gonna have my booster come back and get it."
She told you that?
Yeah, she told me that. No, so, bro,
And yeah, Toledo was real, man.
and it's on the east side because it takes
Facts.
75 all the way
Facts.
down, man. So it's on the
That's
east
in a
side.
whole other state. I don't even count no more.
Facts.
I don't even, because all of this is east if you're going to do the
No,
whole country.
75. It does not go on the west side.
Right. There's no
So
west.
it's-
It's all east.
No, that's
It's
different.
all east. If you're gonna
75.
do state by state now, that's the east.
That's- yeah,
Ohio
east.
is part of the east. It's part of the eastern part of the
So,
country.
yeah, that's Toledo. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
So
had
it's
Chicago.
Michigan.
We'll take Chicago. You could have a.
That's even further west.
I know. That's
Exactly.
what we're
West
talking about.
Oh my god.
What's up, man?
No. You
West
pick and
side.
choose states or cities you want.
West side.
Even though they east, now we're just gonna pick and choose.
Would you rather be in LA or New York in the wintertime?
Well, that's not a fair question.
Hey.
Like I would rather be anywhere warm in the wintertime.
Well, you can't be there because you're not on the west side.
Oh my god. Cut it out. And other stories. Another person in Detroit
To
just
live
killed.
and shop in Toledo.
Whoa. Toledo was not a place to live in.
Well, the Franklin one was great though. But
I'm not
yeah.
sure I want to do
Franklin,
either
yeah,
shop
right.
or live in Toledo, but
Oh, they had decent. That's the first time I had Chick-fil-A.
it's in Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Another
Fire.
person in Detroit is killed over an argument over sneakers, which means on today's show we will agree on everything. And the first team was sent packing in this year's NBA playoffs, so we're going to call some stores in Indiana looking for the Nike Carry 5 broom and dustpan pack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you not an asshole.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
You not an asshole.
Let's see. Let's find out.
I think we've already come to
In the case,
agreement on
no,
that.
y'all two. That's just two people. This is the Sneaker Box podcast, live from the Podcast Detroit studios, a part of the Sneaker Bar Detroit family and the DTLR network. Social media. Things you do in the studio. See, nobody even knew what happened.
They don't have to know.
Social media, you can follow us on Twitter at TSB_radio. You can follow us on Instagram at the Sneakerbox_radio. And then you can follow us on Facebook by simply looking up the Sneaker Box radio show page.
But that tech wasn't for you, just to let you know.
Oh, cool. Bet. Make sure to call into our show and talk to us on the air with your sneaker comments and questions every week from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by dialing 248-579-5295. Let's get right into it. Get it set up. Get to this week's Fab 5 sneaker releases from the previous week.
The Fab 5.
The Fab 5.
The Fab 5.
Top five, top five, top five.
Saw it in my dream. 5, 5, 5.
Number 5. This is pretty much a slow week. However, those Concords dropped. Was it today?
What was that? I thought it was yesterday.
On the sneakers at
Oh yeah, today. Well, them what was it? Them Turbo Greens.
Oh, Turbo Greens re-released on there too.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't
a
really
couple
feeling
things,
that.
but
Yeah, I don't know. Like anybody, because I saw there was a lot of sizes left after like a while.
What were
after
your
the fact.
sizes?
Huh?
What were your sizes?
No, I tried to get another pair. Like somebody sent me a text, which I don't know how long time had passed, but I had tried to get a size 15, and it was just like, no, size is sold out.
When I looked, they had number 15s and up left.
No,
Like
it was
4s.
showing the size 15, but then when you actually tried to purchase it, and then like you'll go to that whole waiting in line thing.
hey, y'all know I don't give a shit about online. I got on, everything was sold out. I was like, oh well.
You got a pair though, right?
Pair of what?
Concords?
I got them for somebody else. I told you I didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got them, so it wasn't
Yeah,
like
I
you
got
had
'em.
to have them. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who still doesn't have. I mean, I got my pair like way after the fact because I was waiting on a restock.
I don't got a pair.
You still don't?
Man,
All right, so
like I
somebody
said,
hit us up.
Keep waiting. Like I
Size
said,
what,
there's
12?
there's no rush.
11 and a half and no.
11 and a half, size 11 and a half. Anybody got Concords for a reasonable price or retail? Let us
And
know.
Ginger 16s. I'm old school. Dude.
Well, you know what? Now you should definitely be able to find retail.
Good luck with that. Huh?
Now definitely should be able to find them at retail if they just did another restock.
No, it's not. Because that's the one shoe that would constantly sell for great prices because people still buy them.
I mean, not necessarily.
And
a
people
great
on
price.
eBay been buying shoes off of StockX and selling them on eBay. Like and you didn't even take the hang tag off. I'm looking like
I can't stand that. When I see a shoe that's going for a good price and you know somebody bought it just to resell it,
I
on
was gonna
StockX,
say they just buying it so they ain't got to pay the authentication fee.
they already bought, they already paid it.
I was gonna say let me get my $15 back.
But the price is so much higher. It's like you paying for the authentication and you paying for they seller fees and the money in their pocket.
I'm trying to remember the name of that dunk. I want to say it was the Friday dunk. I can't remember who made it. It was like white cream with like the white swoosh with the smaller blue swoosh over it. I can't remember who it was, but it was like Good Friday. It's somebody, I don't remember, but I remember one that dunk, and I saw a pair for like $140 on StockX, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll go back and circle around to get it. But before I could get it, somebody else already bought it, and then 2 days later, I see it back up on there for like $480. So I'm
Now
like,
you know for your size,
I know, I gotta be on it, but
you should know better.
I was trying to get something else at the time, so I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to get these. And
They
then
only make so many size 15s.
and for some reason, I'm actually excited for some of those shoes that's coming out in that Marvel pack this Friday. Like this probably be the first time in a long time I've camped out on Adidas.com.
Told you that Harden.
All those shoes I thought was pretty dope,
The Harden.
Man.
except the Thors. The Thors, I don't know. I'm on the fence.
What was
with.
that? The Black Panther or the Shield T-Max?
I
Shield.
think that's Shield.
Well,
yeah.
they didn't even get Black Panther one.
Yeah,
Black Panther got the other one.
Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
His
So
shoes
Damian
look like that.
I didn't see that.
Well, you said that's didn't you say that's gonna be your favorite player now?
Yeah,
Brian
after
Panther?
Brian retired, it might be Damian Lillard.
We
man.
gonna
Dame.
see. We gonna see him in a whole bunch of Dame Lillards.
Nah, I'll probably get like 1 or 2 pair, bro. They
You like
killed
this skirt?
him.
You like the Dame 5s?
Nah, the red and black ones he
I was
had
gonna
on
say.
was decent.
Yeah, the
Yes,
red-
sir.
I was
Yes,
gonna
yes,
agree
sir.
with
The
you.
red black ones he had on last night.
And the Black Panthers
Marvel,
was
I was gonna
okay.
say the Marvel pack ones is pretty.
They
pretty
okay.
straight.
I mean, all the shoes, like, there's no bad shoe. Like, the exception of the Thors, which, I don't know, you got to really like that shoe, that silhouette.
I just can't. When I wear a player
Teammate's
jersey
hard, though.
or a player jersey, I just can't. Like if Damian Lillard has a Adidas contract, I can't wear no 11s with it. Even though it looks nice, it just
It's not gonna be right.
It's just not even right.
So I'm like that, too.
Yeah, I just can't.
Listen, I know everybody's going to those Captain Americas. That's all everybody's talking about.
What shoe was that? I forgot. I seen the pack.
That next
It was in
level?
Which one?
All right,
next
that
level-
slip on, basically.
Yeah, basically. The
Yeah,
next
no, I'm
level,
straight on
Adidas
that.
next level basketball shoe.
Oh, the Trey Young joints he be hooping in.
Nope.
The
Is that-
laceless shoes.
Yeah.
Nope. I'll pass.
They look decent. Like how they look on foot though. That's what I'm saying. Like some shoes look good by themselves.
I don't know what it is about the Harden. I think it's more so I'm just like a fan of the Iron Man stuff because
I don't know if I can get with those.
when the last time they did what they did was the top 10 2000.
Yeah.
When they did the Iron Man. That shit was hard as hell.
I mean, Iron Man's ones dope. Had the print on it. They did take the crossband off the toe foot though, but it still looks sweet though.
Yeah,
no.
I think it's got a Tony Stark
Yeah,
branding on there too.
Stark
yeah,
Industries
so,
on the back heel. So yeah, I'm excited to try.
That's
to
right.
get something from
I got a
Adidas
question, though.
Adidas put a lot of work into that, but none on the Black History Month.
I'm going to those team like that,
Who
though.
travels more, Stark or Harden?
Harden.
I don't know. Tony Stark, man, because he everywhere, man.
Yeah.
So it's Harden though.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Stark don't go backwards though. He's always going forward.
Who gets more calls? Tony Stark from Shield or James Harden from the refs?
These some good questions. I feel like we should have saved this for like a contest. Damn.
Man, when
James Harden. I'm gonna say James.
Dog, I would say James Harden because Fury be on Stark head, but
Tony Stark don't.
when
he
James
don't
Harden
care.
only made 3 shots but still ended up with 22 points, that let you know where he was getting his.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. But anyway, let's get to this Fab Five. So number 5, like I said, it's been a slow week. So number 5, we have the Adidas Samba OG Purple Haze, which isn't a bad shoe. I actually like those. Pretty decent.
Purple Haze, huh?
Yeah, Purple Haze.
That was smart.
It's like a cream colored toe, and it has like a milky translucent outsole, purple suede everywhere else. Not a bad looking shoe.
I just he said that.
It's not green and sticky.
No,
No,
Oh, I had a different kind.
wrong show.
no.
Yeah.
I just thought about Different Man Community.
Purple Haze.
You are my girl. That was the joint.
Didn't Reebok put out some Cameron shoes that was called Purple Haze?
These are the questions, and they could have kept those.
Oh, with that time when they was just rocking every single colorway of a Reebok question.
You are my
It came a little bit after. I want to say it came out like a year or two. That was hard. That was like a year or two ago. 'Cause I usually love questions, and that's one of my most hated ones.
Your brother hand you some dust. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta roll.
Number 4.
My question for that song was always, who the hell was he talking to?
One of his homeboys. I don't know.
Man, it sounded like he was just talking like whatever.
Nah, I thought he was really talking to one of his homeboys. You remember back then they used to roll deep Dipset.
Number 4, we have the Nike Earth Day pack, which released today, I believe.
It's all right.
That Air Force One was hard. But
It was cool. Number 3, this is probably my favorite out of the group. The Bape and Neighborhood Special Edition Adidas collection.
When they thought one clad, I never seen this. This is almost like this shoe game that turned to a DJ Khaled CD. It'd be like Adidas featuring Bape, featuring Mastermind, featuring Kith. Like, hey, bro, I see when I really seen it when I seen the Tommy Hilfiger, the Timberland, and the Cliff. I mean, the Kith collab. I'm like,
This is the first time all 3 of them collab, though. This ain't
yeah,
their
but
first
still, man, when you gotta split that check 3 ways, man.
It's
Come on
like,
now.
come on, bro. That's crazy.
I don't know. I can't call it, but
Because I mean, the question would be so who gets majority of design input?
I mean, it's only one shoe. It's like,
That's what I'm saying.
well,
Like
you take the east side, I take the west side. You know what I'm saying?
the east shoe, right shoe. I don't know how they broke it down, but they made it work. I thought the shoes were pretty decent. Like I said, out of the shoes that were available, if I had the option, I probably would have went after those. Number 2, you have the Air Jordan Retro 11 Low Navy Snakeskin. I'm not sure if they saw it on the sneakers app, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like there was a lot of hype built up around it.
Man, when I looked this morning, I think I seen them still on there. So
Yeah, certain sizes. So I don't know. I wasn't that hype about them. So
I mean, plus like I was explaining that that blue was just off to me.
as compared to the retro or the original.
It's almost like
The snakeskin print and everything. It's just,
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, so speaking of snakeskin, so they pushed back the snakeskin foam posits, which allows us to put them on the ugliest release of the week again twice.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we could do it 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah, but that shit was just I don't. You would think that
Well, I
they
guess
pushed it back, they give them more time to think about releasing it at all. But
I mean, they could do like what they used
I've
to do.
seen uglier phone posits.
Whoa, then the snakeskin?
ooh,
Yes.
nah.
What's
like,
worse than that snakeskin? Which one?
Thermals. We talked about them.
Oh, the
Are they up there?
maps?
The thermal.
The thermal maps is pretty bad, but I think that snakeskin.
I think the
is
snakeskin might
worse.
have it beat.
Nah, thermals.
Because they just gaudy and ugly. Like it's just
the thermals would buy one get one, like what? Buy one get one free. Buy one get one half off.
You don't think these will be?
And they were so beyond. Dudes was trying to match it up so bad.
And you don't think the snakeskin is gonna end up being that same?
No,
way?
because people not buying phone pods like that unless you're from Toledo. But outside that, nobody's really buying phone. I'm serious. They buy them like crazy.
No, I'm still wondering, are they
Because
still buying them like that?
I don't think people in DC gonna buy these. Now, here's the thing about the snakeskins is that, like, as opposed to the thermals, at least you could look away from them. The snakeskins is like they attract your eye, but at the same time they trash.
You know, it'd be dope for them.
They catch your eye, like it's hard to look away from them.
Maybe like a real snakeskin. Maybe you can remove the skin.
Make a real snake.
It'd be a regular phone positive under
That's
it.
a full snake right there.
Pause.
That is only you would think that.
No, this is the what's name is the thermals.
The thermal map. That thermal map was
The
pretty
third
bad.
version.
The thermal map was horrible. Nobody's defending the thermal maps. We're just
I'm
saying.
talking about for the best, for the worst phone.
Oh,
That's
I don't
what I'm
know,
saying.
man.
I think that snakeskin is awful.
I'm telling you, that's between getting shot or stabbed. Right?
Yeah,
That
my
snakeskin is
the
atrocious.
print on it is almost look digitized. What's on Mad TV when the white and black dudes used to fight each other?
Oh, spy versus spy.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Like it's digitized.
Let me see that picture.
But
Yeah,
that's
let's see.
the thermal
Right,
maps.
but
I think the thing that made
That's
the
what
thermal
makes it worse. Like honestly,
the thermal maps were bad. I think the
didn't even give
main
y'all
reason
fake
the
snakeskin.
thermal
They
maps were bad is because we had just got the weathermans.
the thermals are terrible.
And it's like that's what you're gonna follow up
thermals,
with.
bro. The thermals are.
I mean,
trash.
but like I said, even the weathermans. The
thermals.
weathermans on the low were actually trash.
Yes, they were trash.
Yeah.
oh, Weatherman's
like
a trash,
super
too.
trash.
But not as bad as the two that we just named.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was like, so you dropped one trash shoe and you didn't learn your lesson, and you gave us
The thermals,
one-
the thermals should be bad because they came out before them. That's what automatically make them worse, right there alone.
Then shouldn't the weathermans be?
No, I feel like these should be worse because you would think they would learn their lesson. It's
Well,
like,
that's what
all
I'm
right,
saying.
The
Wouldn't the-
Weathermans was a hit and miss. Some people liked them, some people didn't. But when them thermals came out, they were beyond.
I mean,
when I
if
saw
you-
Luda trying to freak them out, I said,
Listen, if you give me the choice between the three, I'm gonna love the Weathermans too. They couldn't even give y'all fake snakeskin. They gave y'all some digital, like
I mean, did you think that?
1991 printer.
I mean,
quality.
that's what I'm saying. Like the snake skin on that is probably not even gonna be like legit
Look at this.
scaling. I don't want to look at that.
That's
That's
just-
awful.
I'm about to
Man.
bring them thermals. Come on.
These are bad. I'm
No,
sorry.
you ain't gotta bring them thermals, man.
Nah, see?
Those
you looked at
awful.
it. See, that's how I let you know the thermals are bad because you looked
But
at the
see-
snake skins but didn't even want to look at the thermals. You
But
made
that's
my
what I'm
point.
saying.
But that's why I said they were gaudy.
I don't want to see the weathermans either.
Nah,
Because like I said, you already know around that time, it's like they just found every which way possible. Like,
Remember
oh
when
shit, we could put anything on the phone positive.
Hey, Guru, remember we went to Fort Lauderdale and we had to basically take those Starberries and trade up?
Yep.
If we started with that shoe, we would walk out with that shoe. Yeah. Like, there was no way.
What, them snake skins?
Yeah, we had to do that thing with Kate Fagan.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
Oh, bro, these is way worse. These is way worse.
Them, I mean, them trash.
Man, ooh.
Yeah,
Them trash.
I don't know now. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. I
Wait.
was gonna say, 'cause them
was way worse.
them thermals look like.
There's the picture I had in my head, and there's the thing he just showed me.
You know what the thermals look like? You remember the Dave Chappelle skit when he had all the venereal diseases?
Exactly.
Like that's exactly what that shoe looked
This
like.
is way worse.
Hey, you with grass.
Way
Your
worse.
nuts be grass.
Way
Yeah, that shoe look like herpes. That's what it made me think.
Hey,
of.
homie, it's a little homie herpes.
This is way worse. That shit's way worse.
Every now and then, I'll
And the
come say,
laces
hey.
was the info. Oh my goodness, it
Let me
was
see,
disgusting.
And then it only come with the one set of laces and come
Yes,
with black
that was
laces,
good.
did it?
Disgusting.
Oh, it came with the, yeah. Oh,
Oh
boy.
my God, that's ugly.
Oh, boy.
They both got the same upper color and the same sole. So
What
just
kills me is that this sat on a desk at Nike headquarters, and a group of people looked at this shoe and said, yes, let's release this.
because I ain't got to wear it.
No, I'm telling you right now, if that was what's said, I swear to God, I never wear Nike shoes.
again, we've already said it. We know the type of people that's up there making those decisions, so we know they are not wearing that.
Bro, like, oh my God, these are disgusting, man. These look horrible. Like, honestly,
Thank you. You did. You.
I don't know now.
Trash, bro.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know
was
now.
trash.
I do not know now. Like, honestly, it's like getting
And,
shot at that.
imagine this shoe worn like a used pair.
Oh, it looked horrible. I was say it looked like vomit. You know, if you did do like a top 10 like worst sneaker releases like of all time, I feel like you probably could get about 4 or 5 phone posits in the top 50.
Those two are definitely on the top.
Those two on the top, but just still some ugly shoes,
Oh.
bro.
Speaking of which, I meant to say this to you. Or I meant to send this in a group text. You know they came out with the What's that Jim Carrey movie that we was laughing at? Einhorn. Ace Ventura. They came out with the Ray Finkel Einhorn shoe.
They did?
Yeah, I was thinking about getting that.
By who's by?
Ewing.
Ewing? I gotta check it out.
I actually thought about getting it. I was like, yo, inside joke from what was that? L.A.
Bay.
Was it the Bay Area?
Bay Area.
Ray Finkel.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So anyway, good times. Anyway, number one, and this is I don't know how this happened, but the Nike React Element 55, tan, blue, yellow, and peach.
Oh damn, that one came out.
Huh?
That came out.
Yeah.
Man, the way they be dropping them Element 55s be like.
They dropping them like Air Maxes.
No,
You can't even get your hands on
They
them.
dropping like Forces in 03.
Yeah, but the good pairs you
buying them like that.
but the good pairs you can't even get your hands on. Like
That's Nike do that.
which
though.
retailer carrying?
What, these energy releases?
Yeah, you already know Nike do that.
Hey, how they do that? Because I actually want a pair of them.
But in the city you live, is that an Element city?
You right? Facts.
From the months of May
That's
through
why we gotta
August,
move.
maybe.
Facts.
That's why you gotta move. I would move silly on sneaker releases.
We gonna get them snakeskin phone posits.
So, ugliest release of the week. We gotta have a discussion about this.
Snakeskin phone posits.
No, they ain't. We're gonna wait till that week comes out. So we got the Nike ACG React Terrago K2 LDV, whatever. These
K2.
dog walker dunk highs.
What?
I have a serious issue with this shoe. Like I do not
You got that
understand.
on that. What part you got the dog walkers on?
On the ugliest release. It's
Oh,
on the list.
you fooling.
Yeah, you
Dog,
tripping.
That shoe, I have yet to see somebody who's hyped for that. Besides y'all two.
The shoe was straight.
I ain't seen nobody
I didn't
talking
get
about
it
that.
because as the minutes tick down closer, I was like, I got other things I need to do with my money, and buying that shoe is not one of them.
But
But
I
it's
see
like the
people on
shoe's still
Instagram
straight.
posted them like it and had the shoe. So
Like who? Somebody I know?
D Favors, you see him? He had it. It was other people. Like he didn't have it to buy. He had it to cop. It was his size. But
You favors.
I'll show you on the one we get.
Okay.
But yes, bro, people was liking that and buying that shoe.
I'm telling you, that shoe was absent on many people's walls. I did not see that shoe. The Missoni Adidas Ultra Boost Climate Collection. And then the Reebok, this probably is the worst. The Reebok Instapump Fury Millennium. Anybody seen those?
You know him.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You're right.
Reebok Insta.
He buys everything, though.
These are hard, bro. They
He buys everything.
the
Like, is there a shoe
packaging,
that
the
don't buy?
details, and all of that.
No, I give them credit for that, but it's still a bad shoe. They're not worse than these, though. I will say, let me pull them up right now. And I don't know why Reebok. Man,
Well, it's
talking
a
to
regular
people-
Instapump Fury.
but like,
Instapump Fury is the almost their worst shoe ever.
but this
You
is
think
probably
so?
this is them making
That
a
low top joint.
I like I like them in certain
colorways.
colors.
Certain
Yeah,
colorways
certain
I can get
colors.
with, not this.
Because that's
though.
like I like the Puma disc blazers, and that's what
That's
that
one
reminds me
shoe
of.
I know that nobody I know has bought. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. As we go versus.
I was gonna say,
All right,
it's like
yep.
a rap
Turn
sign.
that away. Yeah.
Thank you. No, okay, now you have to. If you had to buy this or the snakeskin,
snake skins.
Yo, I'm getting the snake skins. Hey, look, hey, as
Look.
quick as Guru said it, no hesitation. I'm gonna wear the shit out them snake skins too before I put
All
that
black
on.
outfit. I ain't looking
Hell
for no
yeah.
snake skins.
Nope.
You know, I'm straight on that, bro.
man.
And I'm gonna hope Northland reopen, so I go into
It looked like my grandma used to have a water bed. It looked just like that, bro.
It looks like a decomposing foot.
I ain't seen it. That's
it looked like it looked like a Balenciaga type shoe.
Look at
honestly.
it though. It's like hose and just.
I ain't seen them decomposed foot.
No, yeah,
It looks like a decomposed.
To me it just looked like they trying to go with the Balenciaga kind of look a little bit.
Well, that's not a route you want to go. I mean, I guess because
Didn't they-
Balenciaga, they're selling based on that.
Didn't they
let's be
have
honest.
Future signed to them? Didn't Future put out a shoe with
Yeah.
Reebok?
Balenciaga?
No, he did. He had the high top Reebok.
What happened?
Mr. Fury.
That
They
one was
probably didn't
straight.
sell enough.
Yeah, I did the review on the
Because-
cream one, but the
because
black
what's-
one was cold.
Because
Yeah, shoe was straight.
and that's what Reebok is finding out. Like Reebok, I don't know if they're just picking bad people.
But that
probably.
shoe was $250.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
But Reebok's problem is they think they can catch up by just coming out with a shoe and attaching it with blank celebrity, right? Like they had.
Are they doing
what's that girl?
But in Reebok's defense, that does work currently because look at
Not all
Travis
the time.
Scott. Because they're
But
attaching
you got to
his
get the
name
right
insurance.
person.
I was gonna say you gotta get the right
Yeah.
person. Has to be the right brand. Like Jordan Brand they can do that.
You
Reebok
got. I was
doesn't.
gonna say you got to think Jordan Brand could probably do that with anybody.
No, I'm just saying
Thank you.
why they did it. I ain't said why it worked,
Right.
but I see you understand.
But I'm
why
saying
they
like
did
that
it.
Travis Scott 4, you can like literally insert any
Well, hold up,
celebrity's name.
Time out. I take it back. You can't do that with anybody. Because
Why?
remember, Under Armour has signed Amigos.
But it depends on the shoe, though.
Fish grease.
But that's my point, though. It depends on the shoe. Like that Air Jordan 4. Let's just take that Air
And
Jordan
Under
4.
Armour gave A$AP Rocky his own shoe.
Take that same shoe and give it to any celebrity. It's
But
gonna
here's my
sell.
thing: the Jordan brand just giving them silhouettes to do their own color. They were actually giving them newer silhouettes. Like that Reebok shoe Future had never came out. Like they were giving them actually silhouettes. Jordan
Silhouettes that don't work. I mean, the silhouette ain't gonna sell.
But I'm pretty sure
regardless.
they gave Travis Scott a brand new signature. It would not sell like it would sell.
That silhouette just wouldn't have
I
sold for
agree with you.
$250. I think it would have sold, but not for $250.
But no, that's the point I was going to make. That the shoe, first of all, the product has to be good. Like the name is only going to sell it so much. The
Facts.
product has to be good itself.
Facts.
That shoe that we talked about, Future and Reebok, was not a good shoe. What's her phrase? She sold some shoes, but there was a Reebok workout. So I mean, what's her name? I can't think of her name.
Cardi B.
No, not Cardi B.
The Gigi
Victoria
Hadad.
Beckham.
No,
Victoria Beckham?
the chick,
Gigi Hadad.
Kanye used to date her, and then
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose. It's just basically a burgundy suede workout.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, Reebok seems to have a.
But even that shoe didn't do what they thought it was going to do.
Reebok always signs women to put out their workout stuff, though.
Yeah, Reebok, but that's what
It's
I mean.
kind of like
and
that.
this is, and
That
when
kind
I
of
say
seems
this,
like that's their niche.
and when I say this is coming from people actually that work there. Like they get frustrated because they design stuff and that gets put back to the back burner. Meanwhile, the higher ups are like, no, let's just get the celebrity to push the shoe, and that does not always work. You have to have a good product. Like Reebok is not in a position to just throw out a shoe. Case in point, the Iverson. Like you can't just roll out a shoe and think social media or some celebrity is going to do the work for you. You have to still do the work. You have to earn people's money. Like you Reebok. Sorry, like it's just it is what it is.
I mean, but I kind of feel like they tried that with Swiss Beats.
His shoe was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, but it still didn't sell like that.
I mean, what they could have did was didn't 2K come
How much
out-
marketing did they do for that shoe?
Didn't two-
Actually?
didn't
They put him everywhere with the shoe that they could. And then they had Rick
Such
Ross
as-
moonwalking in it.
Did they have one?
No, that was a kamikaze.
I was gonna say, like, there's another video.
Nah, it's kamikaze.
How many times he gonna move?
But I feel like they
Just
could
that one time. It was a struggle.
they could have dropped the Answer 3s this year for like the 20th anniversary of 2K.
No, they dropped
Because
they dropped the legacies that
the
never
white
came
and
out.
red ones because he wore that on the cover. Like you could have tied that whole rollout together.
But that's my point. Like once again, speaking on behalf of the people, I'm not gonna say no names, but they give me license to say what I said. This is their frustration.
You know what's funny about Reebok too, in terms of like how they do with their basketball shoes. Whenever they drop the regular Reebok Pump basketball shoe, it feels like they never do a good enough job of marketing and re-releasing that shoe.
That's
They
their
never
frustration.
they never outfit the right person with the shoe. And even you can easily tie the shoe back to D Brown all you want to at the dunk contest.
That shoe is so.
You
iconic
not
on many
putting
other
that
levels.
shoe on nobody in the league that's worth a damn for anybody to watch. Kids
But
now don't care
are
about
you-
D Brown doing a
are you-
fake no look dunk from
But
the
people that care is people like me and you that actually remember. That.
Are
That's what
you
I'm saying.
going to hoop in some Reebok pups?
No.
Thank you.
I mean, with the stuff
If you buy
Gilbert
some
Arenas and PJ Tucker be hooping in, I don't know. Somebody
PJ
might.
Tucker hooping PEs and stuff like that. Gilbert Arenas, he might could have put it off because he was wearing everything, but he not in the league no more.
Gilbert
So
Arenas
what's-
playing with a gun holster. Look, look. The problem is
Shorts kept falling.
Right. That was the only thing holding his shorts up. But no, but this is the point though. Like Reebok, well, from what I'm hearing is a bunch of good old boys that are basically there in Boston making all the decisions, calling all the shots, and then not necessarily the right ones. And so like the Reebok legacy, they didn't want to do that shoe. Like it took like a contingent of designers to really push that shoe.
Well, that's
before
like
it
they
even
got
released.
that they got that T-Mac. That's a combination of all the T-Macs that I had no clue about until I actually went on their website.
Right, no, it doesn't always, there you go.
I didn't even know the shoe existed.
That's what they do. And that's what they do. Like, okay, we'll do the shoe, but we're not going to market it. Like, just out of
Man,
spite.
but then the other thing too, like, do they even have a? Well, that would be Adidas that I talked about. Well, Adidas, Reebok, same company.
Nah, they ran two different ways. They got their problems, but
They both seem like they just ran terribly.
nah, Adidas is
Adidas
compared
is
to
say,
Reebok?
Adidas is say, yeah, we got boosts. We gonna pump this out for about the next 25 years. We don't have to come up with nothing else new. Reebok say we just can't find nothing to put out.
In that regard, you have a point slightly, but nobody runs like maybe Under
Yeah,
Armour.
we gonna sabotage this meeting so Big Brother can get Beyonce.
Maybe Under Armour might. I'm not
Under-
even sure. I'm not sure Reebok did it to themselves as much as Adidas did it to them.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, yeah. But
see, that's why I say like they all ran like it's all the same. It's all trash.
I feel like Adidas is just I stick to what I said. I know somebody reached out from Reebok like you have a point, but it's not necessarily true. But I will stick to this, and I will say this as often as I can. The only reason Adidas has Reebok because they don't want Nike to get their hands on them. That's it. Because if you look at the relationship between Nike and Converse versus the relationship between Adidas and Reebok, it's two different relationships.
Yeah, because it definitely seems Converse has a little bit. It has freedom to.
And Nike actually like, use this technology. Yeah, use the whatever.
And that's how we're gonna see a visible air unit in a Chuck Taylor next.
Speaking of which, those new,
we're gonna get 720.
You saw it in the Jordan 11 with them Comfort 11s, them Air Max 1 Jordan looking shoes.
Hey, yeah, man, I wish JB was here to defend that shoe because those were trash. Yeah. Like super trash.
I almost bought a pair.
You
with
know,
the white and blue pair.
He got a pair right now.
He wore a pair a while back.
I remember because I kept looking at his feet and I was like, oh man,
Jumpman's running through red lights right now in Inkster trying to get up here.
That shoe was. I remember when that shoe dropped. I'm looking. I'm like, the hell kind of fusion collaboration is this? Garbage. And they had all those colors of it too.
Jumpman is proud of his fusion collection, by the way, and that's prerogative. But yeah, have you been to the basement?
Nah.
I looking back,
I always wanted to go. I'm gonna holler at him.
Looking back, I was lied to by Nike.
It sounds like a Me Too moment.
Because they told us that year when the Fusions come out, that was what?
That was the Fusions came out. That was like
05 between 05 and 08, right?
Yeah, I want to say the first one dropped in 07.
It was 05. It was like 05.
No, I was in college because I remember when that first one dropped.
They told us they wasn't doing no more retros, and that's when they made people buy them Fusions.
Yep.
After the Fusions
I
came
do
out
remember that.
and rode their course, they came back with retro.
I do remember that.
I'm like,
I
bro,
do remember that.
Man,
I remember that's why everybody went crazy over the Fusions.
Yes.
You felt like you had to get them.
I can't get those He Got Games. All right, I get those He Got Game Fusions.
Man, and I bought the white and black 9 Fusion Forces, right? And I took them home. Because I wanted them 9 so bad. And I'm like, what am I doing with these, bro? What am I doing?
You weren't the only person that
I took them back. Champs failing. I took them back.
The Fusion 10s. I did the same thing. I got home and I was like, what did I just do? I went right back and got my money back.
No lie.
I can at least say I did not buy any of the Fusions, but the only ones that I wanted, and it's the reason why I didn't get them. I wanted the Fusion 3s, and I kept looking at them like, it looked like a regular 3. I want a regular 3. I don't want this.
It was so bad because we already low-key kind of seen it with the fake shoes. Because remember, back then, the fake shoes would be outrageous. You know what I'm
they
saying?
used to have straps and air bubbles.
The Mike, it'd be like some Mike Bibby 4s. I'm like, he ain't wear everything to 12s on down. Like, it was just the amount of craziness. And that's where they get some of their colorways from. Because I remember going to 7 Mile and on A-Bass on 7 Mile Evergreen and Jersey Town on 7 Mile just past Schaefer and see a lot of these Jordan colorways that's out now, they were fixed back.
So you saying Nike went through there like, all right.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Note to self.
With the way they be fishing through social media to find people's design inspirations.
Oh yeah, they definitely be looking at the the customs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man, no, wow.
I mean, the one thing I will give them credit for with the Fusions is I do remember when that white with that Taxi 12, that first Fusion. I remember when I first seen it, I looked at the box like, oh shit, this is gonna be so dope. And then you just started looking at everything coming out. They did that suede black and green one. It was like, all right, y'all doing too much.
Guru, I swear you spoke to me just now because I swear I did the same thing. I bought my shoe and I didn't even get it only took me 5 minutes to get home. And I was like,
that was them good Nike Talk days, too. Back on Nike Talk when that news broke on it. They not making no more retros.
Yes. They lied to us. They hoodwinked us, bro.
Hey, look, they was sitting there smiling like, we got them.
Hoodwinked us, bro.
Because they knew they couldn't sell those Fusions
They did it again with the 3s, so we can buy all them Sport Blue 3s up. And then it says going in the vault.
I remember they said that they did that with the ones.
Hey, you know how much those are going for now?
The Sport Blues?
Sport Blue? Yeah, it's like,
I seen some stuff, bro. That was in Villa when I worked there.
I did buy a pair too.
When I worked there for like $49, and they going for like $250 on StockX. I said I could never. I seen that shoe with a hang tag. I did markdowns. It was like one of the Jordan 1 mids, bro. It was one. It was like stuff I seen like for dirt shoes. I can't.
I do you one better. Remember when Griffey's Griffey ones was like everybody in the city had Griffey ones. It was
The
like
girl ones, they turned them to my. Oh my.
remember that was basically the Hirachis before the Hirachis. I went on StockX. They got what's that silver and black Griffey one? They got that going on there for like $200. That shoe went on sale for $89.99. Like,
that's another thing. Working retail, when you see stuff go that low, you can never pay like
Nope.
astronomical prices for it, bro.
I wouldn't do it.
Paying retail almost makes your screen crawler a little bit. So when you
It's
see
like,
stuff
damn, where
go
my discount at?
250, 300, bro, I'm like, no way.
I can't. Yeah. Wow. Man, that brought back memories of them fusions. Wow.
I told you the best part was when I saw the box for
I
that
wanna
Taxi
know-
12.
If I ever get a chance, I actually want to talk to them and be like, so,
Like, why?
Like looking back,
That was marketing.
I know. I'm just
That
saying,
was
like,
genius.
no on their part.
That's what I'm saying.
They
On
took
their part.
advantage of us being Negroes to the utmost.
But
I mean, put it this way: they wouldn't be able to do that now in this age of social media.
but that's what I'm saying. I
The
just
news
wanna,
would break too soon if that's a lie.
You know how you do something, but then like enough years go by, you look back and you either like, all right, yeah, I did it, or you have some regrets. I just want to know what they think.
I just want other people to experience the hoodwink. I want Budweiser to say, you know what, we're not making no more American lager and watch all the people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Or the Heineken or the bourbon.
Coke
whiskey
did it
people.
before. We're not making no more no Coke. We got new Coke, and then everybody went and bought that and decided it was disgusting enough to not buy it anymore, and they reverted back to.
You know, it'd be funny. With everything that they bringing back out now, what if they retro the fusion?
Dog.
They done did the six. They done brought Six Rings back out.
It'll be a
They
one-man
done brought
line.
Spizikes back out.
And you know what?
They have brought Dub Zeros back out. They might as well bring the
and
fusions
it's gonna
back.
be and it's gonna be like a Travis Scott Fusion one, and y'all these clowns gonna buy it. I'm like,
If
look
they
at
brought
these
back
fools.
fusions, it'd be a one-man line in front of Mr. Allen's.
No,
I bet you.
No, if it was a Travis Scott, it'd be different. I'm just talking about just a
That's,
regular
but you
fusion.
know that's what they gonna do.
A regular fusion.
They gonna bring back.
I seen somebody on Instagram, right? Excuse me. And this girl had the Team Jordans on, right? The Team Jordan.
Which ones?
The ones that look like the 13s. I said, those are Team.
The two.
Yeah. Huh?
Ain't that Team Jordan 2, yeah.
Oh, the Jumpman Pro? No.
No, the Team Jordan 2. They got the little indentation on them. Look just
Oh,
like the 13s.
yeah, okay.
Man, didn't this dude say, what this dude you got on? I mean, you got on them Jerry, because it was the Pistons colors. You got on them Jerry Stackhouses. Them ain't Jordan. Them got Detroit Pistons. And she was about to cry, bro. And then people were laughing. I'm thinking, like, that's so sad because that silhouette, like the Cincinnati Bearcats used to wear that. Like, when they was the coldest team Jordan college, like, they used to wear that shoe. And
That shoe was cold. That shoe was cold, though. Like, real talk.
That white, black, and red one was nice. Yeah.
Yes.
So I just be like, and sometimes I
The
catch
black ones was
myself
good,
was
too.
like with some of the team Jordans, like, because they be like, oh, them the Mexican Jordans. I'm like, it's like,
No, it's not. It's not a Flight 45 high.
yes, it's not that, bro. And then with the Mexican can say them True Flights is the Negro shoe. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all,
Oh yeah, that's the
bought them-
fake sevens.
They
Duh.
bought them. They bought them.
That's not a story.
I sold so many. I felt bad. I felt like Jay-Z had the reasonable doubt, bro. I felt so bad. The
Hey,
Eagles. Every
no.
time I sold a pair.
No, but the
it
thing
was
is,
the
I didn't
Eagles.
feel. I never felt bad because when cats would come in, they would ask me. I'd be like, "You sure you want to get those? Like, you know them not what you think they are." They
Dog.
be like, "No, these the sevens." No, they not.
Can
bro.
I tell you a story? There was a guy on one of the Facebook groups I'm in. This was a while ago. He had on like some black and Concord colored True Flights.
Yeah, with a little bit of gray in it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He had worn them, and was trying to get retail and was trying to convince everybody they were sevens.
That was Ray Allen
And
sevens.
everybody was telling him, like, dude, it was like 150 comments. People just roasting him and telling him, like, dog, I'm True Flights, I'm not sevens. And he said, I think finally he was like, what's the difference? And I'm like, bro, if you got asked that question, then you should probably reconsider. First of all, you wearing True Flights. You lucky. You the only fool that bought them for retail because there's like 150, 160.
Nah, he wasn't the only fool, bro.
No, I'm talking about on that group. On that
Oh
thread.
yeah, probably in that group.
Because
Yeah.
you trying to sell some worn True Flights for retail.
I mean, put it this way: you never. It's always one fool somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Every village has its idiot.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's...
Them shoot.
And a lot of people in
Man.
that group probably got a pair. Ain't saying nothing, bro.
I remember. I think it was the black and
they-
red and white pair
Hey.
actually sold out.
From a distance, you like, what? You got to walk up on them like, hold on.
Man,
no
you
True
look
Flights.
at that tongue, you see that weird Jordan look. You're like, oh
It's
yeah,
like,
no,
nah,
that ain't it.
No, you almost got me. Almost got me, but nah, not today.
I sold so many of them, man. It's...
Oh, man. Speaking of shoes that are either come out or coming out.
Jordan
there's
True
a-
Flights.
Yes. Look, stay tuned for the Fusions and True Flights coming out. There's a Clear J Atmos Nike LeBron 16 dropping sometime soon.
Yeah, that's like a teal one.
Yeah.
I hear another one that was atrocious. The 16.7s, the 16.723. They look like the 6s and the 17s put together.
Yes.
Oh
Yep,
my
yep.
goodness.
That was bad. But no, you know
The
which
one I
one,
remember is the red outsole. It was like a red translucent outsole.
but you know which one you just made me think back to that I actually had it. I actually liked, even though you said that, was when they dropped the 16.5s. Those were straight. That was a straight hoop
Is that the
shoe.
one with the buttons?
It
The one that folded down had the little the magnet button.
It
Magnetized
looked like
button?
it should have had it, but it didn't.
Pull up a picture. While he's doing that,
That was one of my favorite shoes.
these I'm
back in
actually
the day.
interested in looking at. The black and white colorways of the Converse All-Star Pro BB, which will come out next month for $140. They just seem interested in me.
Oh, they hit y'all with the Carmine on the 17s
Oh,
on
they
y'all.
did. Yeah, I remember them.
Oh my
Man,
goodness.
they cost people. But I'm interested in these Converse All-Star Pro BBs only because I just think it's a dope way of kind of tying the past into what they're trying to do for the future. So it has like, I guess, current or future technology, but still has like that traditional look. I couldn't do it. I'm
It was
sorry.
just like I said, just as a hoop shoe, it was
couldn't do it.
straight.
I couldn't do it. Sorry. I tried. Maybe if they came in snakeskin.
I mean, I worked in that shoe for like 2 months, and then I returned it and got some 6 rings.
These shoes I'm not looking forward to at all. The Pata Air Jordan 7 pack. I seen one colorway already.
It's
like
kind of like
brown.
kind of look like a faded Bordeaux.
Yeah, it's like, man, keep those. Travis Scott, his Air Jordan 6 debuts.
That's the
sometime
one you
this
really
summer.
looking forward to.
Yeah, right. That pocket is
How
throwing
many of
me
these you sold?
Oh, boy.
Oh, for sure. In that colorway too.
Yes. Man, we just sold some stuff. Like, I almost feel like Jeezy. Lord forgive me.
I feel like the
ain't
same
living
girls
right.
that wear those shoes, like Hot Chips.
Man, put it this way. That's one shoe. My daughter, I would never get that shoe for my daughter, ever.
Nah.
Wouldn't do it.
I got too much respect for my daughter.
Exactly.
There's a women's satin black toe Air Jordan 1 that's coming out this August.
All right, running out with ideas. It's going to throw different material and everything.
Right, just come on with a satin colorway. The undefeated Nike Kobe 4 Protro will drop this August.
DeMar DeRozan had it on. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. We'll talk about the Futurecraft loop in a minute. Okay, so this is the funniest story to me because I still don't know what's going on, but you have to think that Nike's not going to do this, or Jordan Brand. There's a black and red Air Jordan 1 dropping on Black Friday of this year, but it's not the banned ones. So there's two. So there's a whole bunch. Okay, so the news broke. There's a black and red Air Jordan 1 dropping on Black Friday. So everybody just resorts to this notion of, oh, it must be the banned ones, right? Because there's no other black and red colorway of the Air Jordan 1, right? So that starts getting everybody hyped up. And then it followed with the story of it's going to be the 85 high cut, which is like, okay, so what have they been selling us so far?
Pimping y'all.
Like, was it the 86 high cut? Like what? Like what? Like
It was
like,
the
these
retro.
These are the highs. Like, how much higher can it go, right? And so then, kind of find out, at least from other sources, that it's not the banned ones. It's just the black. It's a different color blocked Air Jordan 1 with black, white, and red. So
It's no more else that they gave you to you. The black toes, Chicago's,
As
the
in,
not
how
for sale.
many iterations
the not
can
for
they
sale.
do?
Then the ones the
the
same.
Jim
Not,
Reds coming out this
the
year.
not for sale. They look like the not for sale. They just don't have not for sale on
There
them.
you go.
They got like, come on, like how many?
The 6 rings. You know, the one is like
Yeah,
the 4 shoes.
yeah. Come on, man.
It's going to be all black, white swoosh.
The
with a
bread
red
toe. It's like exactly how many black, white, and red variations of the ones can you possibly come up with? I'm over it.
What was that
The
cereal?
Phantoms.
What was the cereal commercial? What would they come up with next? That's what
What they think of next?
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I'm over the. I mean, I'm over the ones. Period, man. Honestly, I mean, if you're gonna put a shoe in the vault, that would be it.
How about y'all restock some of those Space Jam? I mean, not the Space Jam, the Royal Satin, so I can try to get a pair.
The Royal Satins.
They remember they released them at the 2 oldest Jordan counts, the Walters in Atlanta and then the other one in Texas, I think.
The Royal Satins. I just
Satin,
cannot.
yeah, the Royal ones, but it was satin.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I want
Okay.
that.
Okay. Yeah, if you're gonna do it, I mean.
I mean, that's probably going to be, they're probably going to drop that next.
Now I'm waiting to see that Shattered Backboard 1 3.0, which that's another storyline they can put in the vault as well after this shoe.
They won't.
They won't. But one, because some people say it's gonna be all patent leather, some people say it's gonna be black and orange regular leather.
Yeah.
So.
Either way, I want it so I can get a pair to go in my Philadelphia Flyers jersey.
Do you have any other Cheddar backboards? No. Somebody get a Guru these Cheddar backboards. All three versions.
For a good price.
Yes, for a good price.
If everything goes right, we should be receiving them for our association. Via our association.
Oh man.
But I learned not to hold my breath unless I'm underwater. So
Not for too long, though.
Jason Tatum has his own Nike Air Max 97 coming out, which don't look too bad. We'll wait to see more pictures of them, but
I got no words for that.
I mean, the show was due, but it's like, why not give him? Why not go the route where you give them a PE silhouette and sell in the House of Hoops, and then see how that does, and then give him work his way to a
PE
signature
silhouette over shoe.
Like Kyrie Irving had the Hyper Dunks in his color with his initials on it. Like they sold those shoes in House of Hoops. Then when they found out that he can move a couple shoes, they gave him his own.
Yeah,
shoe.
they just
That's
legit jump.
what they're doing.
No, but they
No,
just
that's a
legit jump.
97.
That's a
So
lifestyle
that's
shoe.
true,
Yeah, they
yeah.
just legit jumping like
They sold Kyrie. They sold Hyper Dunks and Hyper Reds.
and Air
Those were
Force.
basketball
Yeah,
Jordan.
that's
Those
why they
basketball
ended up
shoes.
selling the Air Force Ones, and they had the Kyrie Air Force Ones, and that was the only lifestyle.
Yeah, they did.
Kyrie
Also
did.
with
I was
basketball
about to say,
shoes.
like, when was the last time people? I mean, outside of Rasheed Wallace, nobody really hoops in their first ones like that.
No, but they just did a lifestyle to give it a flip. But the most of the shoes they sold through him were for basketball shoes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, is Jason Tatum known for
But
wearing Air
bleeding out-
Maxes?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to them.
I mean, all I see him wear is them adapts.
But
They could have did that.
what they're doing too, like I don't know if anybody knows a Nike ID. Like, if you go on there, they'll say like Jason Tatum's Nike ID for whatever shoe.
Did you see mine on there?
They didn't have. Right.
Yeah, they
actually
dropped it.
sold
They
you
dropped it
there.
already.
A couple times, right? They not gonna give you credit. You're not signing Nike. Jason Elliott allegedly has 3 new colorways of the Nike LeBron icon due to drop.
I seen them caramel ones. I think the caramel. Oh my, them hard.
I like that green one.
The caramel ones.
What's
were
like a
cold.
Vote Green?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. That was pretty dope.
And then Neymar Jr. has a Nike Shocks R4 collab in the works, as well as
Still trying to
I
pump
knocked
them
the shots.
shocks.
Man,
They
good.
still trying to
They-
pump
I know
them
they-
shots.
There's only
Listen.
one group of people that buy shocks, man.
Nurses.
No, and not even Caucasian males between 25 and 45, man. Only people that buy shocks, man. They're Hirachis. Like, we buy 95s, they buy shocks.
Yeah. I was wondering, as soon as I wrote that down, I'm like, who's still buying Shocks? And there's also a Matthew M. Williams. I don't know who he is. I want to say I remember he came out with a shoe and it was trash. But anyway, he has a Nike sneaker coming out too. And from the looks of the pictures they released, that don't look too promising either. And also, speaking of shoes that are supposed to be coming out, Adidas introduces the Futurecraft Loop, an article written by Mike DeStefano for Soul Collector, and the continued efforts to be eco-friendly as possible. Adidas introduces the newest running model, the Futurecraft Loop. The shoe is created with running and sustainability in mind. But what makes this shoe unique is that Adidas will encourage the shoe's owners to return it back to the brand when they're done using it. The shoe would then be washed, broken down, ground to pellets, melted, and reused to construct an entirely new pair. The idea expands on Adidas' partnership with Parlay that began back in 2015, which used yarn made up of upcycled plastics from the ocean and coastline to construct models like the Ultra Boost, NMD, and Alpha Bounce. Unlike traditional footwear, the Futurecraft Loop is built entirely of TPU that is spun into yarn, knitted, molded, and clean fused to a Boost midsole with Futurecraft technology. Adidas will begin. Now, this is the part that kind of got me. Adidas will begin introducing the Futurecraft Loop via a beta program featuring 200 creators, influencers. That's what they mean. That's what creators
YouTubers.
are. Creators are influencers in Adidas.
And AKA YouTubers.
Adidas jargon, right? From major cities from around the world, a wider release to the public is set for spring, summer of 2021. So
They want you to wear. They want you to beat your shoes up and then take them back to them. You get your money back.
Now that's the thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're gonna send you another pair, which kind of defeats. I mean,
especially with it being a running shoe, because from what I know, a lot of people that run, what they always say is once they got a shoe broken in, they want to stick with that shoe no matter what until
Well, that's any shoe, basketball.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so once I've broken that shoe in, now you want me to send
I guess
you
when
the
it
shoe
gets
back?
to the point of
No,
you
they
want to
get
throw
beat,
it away.
bro. You know when they turn to beaters, bro. They want to turn so they can recycle it, which is also good for that.
Right.
I mean, that's cool and all, but how many people really? I mean, what am I getting out of that as
I
a
mean, you
consumer?
can't wear a recycled shoe if there's nothing to recycle.
Am I getting some money back since I'm recycling it?
But if you about to throw it away anyway.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Can I keep my receipt and get my money back?
No, you're not getting your money back because you, as a store manager, previously hated when people wore shoes and then returned them. So why would you now ask for them?
See, I'm not a store manager anymore. So now when those conversations come up,
who's the asshole? Right?
I just sit up there and laugh now. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna bring my shit back now.
But no, I mean that's what it sounds like. It sounds like when you were about ready to throw those boys out the trash, instead of sending them in the trash, send them back to the
Man, look, at the end of the day, I think it is kind of cool to do something for the environment, but it's just
we only have one Earth.
I mean, we do, but
I can't wait for Endgame.
Dog, I'm so ready. I got my tickets. I'm going every day this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's like 12 hours for the movie.
9.
right,
9 hours. 9 hours worth of movie.
Chris Evans said he cried 3 times. Well, he watched the movie 3 times and cried in the first hour each time.
Oh, that must be when he died.
No.
He's crying his contract though.
But they say he bringing him back, bro. But you know,
I hope so because he's been in the best movies.
yeah.
Even though we could say Civil War is pretty much.
But my thing they shouldn't talk about that contract. It kind of gives away the movie or at least how it's going to be going forward.
I'm so hyped to see that.
I mean, I feel like they kind of did that when they put out that Spider-Man trailer.
You know, right? That's like, okay, so we know Spider-Man.
I'm like, oh shit, he's alive!
Yeah.
Like,
well, there you go. So we know something, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but man, you had to know they gonna kill off Spider-Man for real. Like, let's be real. And then they told you they was gonna make a Black Panther 2, so you know he's coming back.
Yeah.
I was just saying, you knew every
Doctor
movie
Strange
was
2.
getting a 2, and they were doing the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad they brought my man's back too for that because he, did a pretty good job with the first 2. I thought so.
oh, they were hilarious.
I honestly I didn't know nothing about him
I
until the movie
missed a
came
lot
out.
of parts because I watched this one YouTube clip when they were showing the post-credit clips from the last 3 movies leading up.
Yeah.
I missed the one when he was when Thanos put his hand in the thing. I'll do it myself. When he put the
Oh, they
gun-
reached
That
and
was
got the
what was that Age of Ultron,
It might have been.
which was terrible.
When
Yeah,
did he-
I
when
know.
did- I didn't remember him in Age of Ultron.
No, it's like the
Thanos?
end,
That
the
was-
post
it was-
scene
yeah,
credit.
that was the
So
very.
what did he? So
He
just,
wasn't even in the movie.
after Tony Stark's beef with his robots, right? He just comes in the end and said, "Let me do it myself." Like,
Yeah.
what is that? But what had to lead Guardians of the Galaxy had another post credit that led to that. Wasn't the old boy with the hood came through and was like, "This what
Oh,
you want?"
Ronan?
Yeah,
No,
because he can't. Because he put
No, the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That might have been the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 then.
No, I don't know.
Because he
I don't
took
remember.
because he took it.
It might have been.
No, because the
Yeah.
one he said go find the stone, and then he came because he sent his daughter with him.
We doing all that
Then-
talk. We got the internet.
And then the second one, he came back, and the old boy's like, "This what you want?" And then he crushed it and put it in his axe, and was like, "I'm gonna kill you myself for how you played me." I think the third one is him saying, "I'm gonna just find the stones myself."
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's been so many movies. And
Because that's how he pulled up on Loki and Thor.
Because he already had 2. He had 1 stone already.
Yeah, the Power Stone.
That's what he got it from old boy.
Yeah.
Got it from old boy.
What?
The Ronin dude.
No, he had to get that from what was it? Cybercore? Whatever they were. Because they kept it.
Novacore. Yeah.
Novacore. Yeah, they had it.
Because he destroyed the planet.
Yeah, he destroyed them and got it. Just a lot of nerd talk, right? Oh man, welcome to Collider Podcast.
Oh yeah, no, the post credit from the first Guardians of the Galaxy is it's with the Collector.
Oh yeah, because they had Howard the Duck.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
So so that was Age of Ultron. Thanos put
The glove on?
when he put
was it?
on. Yep.
But what was the one that led to that moment? What post credits led to that moment?
I think it was because how they say like everything is technically tied together and there's so much happening.
I don't think anything leads to a post-credit scene. I think the post-credit scene is kind of independent.
I mean, you
in
at
that way.
least want to say, okay, if I watch the post-credit scene of Age of Ultron, then when I see the post-credit scene of Galaxy of the Guardians, it kind of ties together.
No,
that movie was
those
released in
work to
order.
tie the movies together. So
I'm
it's
talking
like-
about the tie the post-screen credits together.
But that's if you notice, like they sprinkle Thanos like in the post-credit scenes of a lot of movies. Like you first saw him
Which one was that?
what was the first time? I remember the first time.
The
you seen
first
so
time
when he looked back and it's like smiled.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the first Avengers, wasn't it?
Nah.
No, it was before that.
Oh, that might have.
No,
I don't remember him being the first.
Nah, look, Thanos' first appearance.
it might have been the first one. I don't remember.
Seen him third, seen him first.
But I just know that I don't know some pretty good movies though. I know I'm interested in seeing it.
I think it was one of the Iron Mans. No, it was Avengers.
When you look
Yeah,
back,
it was the first Avengers. Yeah.
okay. See,
I gotta go back and check them out.
I spent the past 2 weeks doing that, watching all
watching
of them.
all of them.
Yeah.
I know I've seen a lot of people do that too. I don't have the time though. I'm good. I've seen it once. I know what happened.
You don't have the time to do that, but you got time to go watch the new one.
I'm making time for that. I'm making time for that.
Still nigga.
I'm making time for that. You said the N word?
No, I said still Negro.
Oh, okay.
It is an N-word.
We're going to play it back. Well, technically, yes. But no, what happened was I got the ticket for Thursday. You know when it crashed? When they first announced the tickets were going to be available? Like, all the sites crashed.
You know what I did? The next day, I hopped on and got tickets for Friday.
That's what happened. So, this what happened. So, me and my boys are going Thursday night, but then the missus was like, oh, I want to go see the movie too. So, the only day she's available this weekend is to see it Friday. And then my daughter wants to see it, and the only tickets I could get after that were even available was like afternoon Saturday. So, that's why I'm going.
Now, you're going to be ruining the movie.
Yep. Oh, as soon as I see it, I'm calling you and tell you everything that happened.
I'm not answering.
I'm leaving a
the phone.
voicemail. I'm leaving like like 20 voicemails.
Hey, y'all check my voicemail.
I'm not looking at no group chats either.
I'm spoiling it all. Spoilers.
Like, honestly, the sad part is you probably even could spoil the movie for me. I'm still going to go see it like I don't know what's happening.
The Galactus, that's a new dude they said gonna come, right?
Galactus.
Yeah.
Galactus
Probably so, yeah.
They said, isn't he made of a power stone or something like that?
Man, I gotta read the comics now again.
Yeah, that's what I read in the comments.
I gotta touch up.
He's made of a power
I
stone.
know he's supposed to be like kind of like a overseer like the universe.
And here's
too,
one
though.
thing: where is Warlock? Is he a bad guy or a good guy? Because I figure
We might get him in this though.
You know what?
Because he popped up in the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Who's that?
Adam Warlock.
is he
they
a
was
good guy or
making him.
bad guy? Because they got him like on the
I didn't
bench.
say-
Oh, when?
The end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when she was she remember the homegirl said they exhausted all their resources, the gold people.
Oh,
Yeah, and she was like, I'm gonna call him Adam. I think that was,
Yes.
that was Adam Warlock.
Yep.
So I think he might be in this one.
He's a bad
And they
guy.
bringing back the.
He was a bad guy in the comics.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
And they're making the Eternals.
But he
so
was
that's
beefing
what
with Thanos, so
Right, that's why
why I
I'm-
was like, I don't know where he's gonna be. Like, is he a bad guy or a good guy?
But the movie, I mean,
I'm
they stick close to the comics, but they kind of stray off in some
Yeah.
instances too. So,
I mean, but the Adam Warlock thing though would have been like.
like, think
all
about
right,
the Mandarin, the Mandarin and Iron
Yeah,
Man.
that
Like,
was
they
way
made him
off.
a joke.
That was way off. Well,
yeah.
the real Mandarin or the fake Mandarin?
Well, the fake one in the movie.
The fake one was hilarious.
Yeah,
That might have been the best part about that whole movie.
I think so too.
honestly. That movie was trash.
That movie was pretty
The
good.
first Iron Man.
No,
Third
the
one.
third one.
Iron Man 2 and 3 was pretty bad.
Yeah, in comparison,
Iron Man 2 was pretty
it
bad.
was okay to watch, but it wasn't like the greatest. They
Two
not,
was
they
when
don't have,
that- two
they
was
don't
when
rank
his
high.
house fell off the cliff, right?
No, that's 3.
3.
Yeah.
2 was what?
When what's that? Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. Yeah.
He had the whips. He was
yeah.
Whiplash.
Oh yeah, Whiplash. Oh,
Yeah, he was trash. It's exact trash.
Whiplash equals trash. I wanted to bring this up too. I completely forgot about it. I was scrolling through my phone and his kicks. I guess he did a video on it. Anybody seen those preachers wearing $5,000 sneakers? I guess that's been a topic of discussion lately.
I
know it's the one guy.
I have no. He talking about the Yeezys. Like I have. Here's my
No,
thing
he's
about.
wearing like off whites and stuff.
Here's my thing about it. Like I don't. What's the problem? You wearing your it's what it is, bro.
I was
So
gonna say that's like
so somebody in the audience can wear the Yeezy, but the preacher can't wear the Yeezy. Like
that's like
I
the college
think-
basketball coaches be wearing off whites now.
No, I agree with you, but I think, and I'm just being devil's advocate here, no pun intended. But I think the difference is for a lot of people is like you're supposed to have like a higher calling, right? Like so,
Have they ever seen the type of cars they drive?
exactly.
Have they ever seen the type of
I
houses they
don't
live
have.
in?
Listen, I don't have too many. I'm not a religious person, and I don't have too high of expectations.
And
for
we know you
anybody.
now with how you act.
Yes, but I come from a very religious family. I got like a bunch of pastors and everything. Deacons in my family.
They so disappointed in you.
Very. But I do get the aspect of like, yo, wait a minute, so you can spend this much on this. It just seems counter to the message to some people.
But here's my thing, though. Because you're Christian doesn't mean you have to live like you can't spend your money or do what you want to. That's the narrative that I hate with people like, oh, if you can't do what you want to do it. Now, here's my thing. If you're teaching on a church that's on a corner of Southern Mount Evergreen and you need roof leaks and all that and you got Yeezy on, yes, that money could. But if you're preaching in a church that's well built, that's nice, you're up on your bills, you can make, and plus preachers make that money preaching at other churches like rappers going on. That's how they make their money. He still has bills. They don't say, well.
But that runs counter to, I mean, if we want to make this a religious thing, which I really don't, that runs counter to the actual teachings, though, because Jesus wasn't about the money. He was about taking that money and using it towards something useful, not for such frivolous things like buying you a nice house.
But he still told you to pay your taxes to Caesar.
Pay your taxes, things that need to be done. Like, yes, you need a house. He's not saying live in a shitty house, but do you need this type of house? He doesn't say you should drive a shitty car, but do you need
then nobody should buy Yeezys then.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Wait. Time out. Here's the difference. We're talking about people that chose to be Christians. Not only chose to be Christians, but are somewhat the faces of Christianity. Like if that's not your lifestyle, that's not the way you choose to live, then that's on you. But if you're gonna make it upon yourself to not only be about that life, but to preach it to others, then yes, I do think there's a standard, your standard. This isn't me putting my standard on you. This is your standard that you're preaching being put back on you. So I think there's a difference in that. Like saying that, Gina, you shouldn't do this because the Bible says, okay, that's my belief. But if it's your belief as well and you're preaching it, then it becomes a problem. Then it could be thrown back into your face because that's something that you push.
But
you can't tell people what they can and cannot buy because they're religious.
I don't think there's anybody telling anybody can, but it does run counter to that. It's like almost like when you see that the like Red Cross, like the CEO is making X amount of dollars. It's like, wait a minute, like so
nonprofit. People who run
it's
nonprofit.
It's a lot of money in nonprofit.
But you run nonprofit, but that is still a position you have to get paid for. Like back then, there wasn't DT.
But
like you have things.
There's a difference between getting paid and there's a difference between getting paid. Like saying, okay,
I'm talking about, we're talking buying shoes. I'm talking about salary. I'm talking about buying shoes. Like you can buy what you. That's what I'm talking about. You can buy what you want to, bro. Yeah. You don't know if that was gifted to him because people give it. You don't know what the or. Well, I mean, and here's my thing. I hate when they twist the narrative. Oh, he got on $5,000 shoes. The shoes were retail for $250. You don't know how much he paid because that shoe varies. So that's another thing.
But then even on top of that,
but that's all conjecture though. Either way.
But it's like how I brought up the thing with type of cars they drive and type of house they live in. Mm-hmm. What about their clothing? Like how you just said, that's $250 sneaker, right? You know how much a suit costs?
I know.
That's what I'm saying. So
they're not supposed to wear a nice suit?
Exactly.
On, bro.
But wait. Time out. Because most nice suits or a decent suit is going to cost that. Not every shoe is going to cost $250. So there's the difference. Like most dress shoes don't cost that much. If we want to nitpick,
well, but
most nice dress shoes, you can get a decent pair. You can get a decent suit for $150, $200.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it this way. If you making, say your salary that you pulling in a year is upwards about $150K. That's what you bringing in on a yearly basis.
Who you talking about? The pastor?
Yeah, just hypothetically, that's what the pastor making. He not gonna shop the same way that I shop. I know that for a fact. He not gonna buy the same type of stuff that I buy because he doesn't have to. He's making more money.
Here's my question. Once again, playing devil's advocate, why are you making $100K?
I got a perfect point for that. You making $100K because one, your church determines your salary. So if you're gonna get mad at him making that,
okay, that's bullshit. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you with that one because I know for a fact.
But you don't. That's not good for every single church.
That's the biggest cop out. I'm not saying every church, but I hate when pastors because they know damn well they got full influence on how much they get paid. But continue.
But but if you ran your church properly right, there's a board of directors that chose it. We can't say for every church how it's supposed to go. I'm not saying for every church,
but I'm just saying I hate hearing that because we can't just like I can't say every church, you can't say every pastor thinks that way either.
But I mean, you speaking on as behalf that you speaking on like these are what people do. You can if you can make that. Plus, your life goes to church. You got to spend every day at the church. You got to help people out. You go to. I don't have a problem with it. Well, the church I go to, they have transparent meetings. Your pastor dress nice, but he does his money outside. He has investments. We give a lot.
Here's the problem with everything you're saying. This is not a business. This is not a company where you're doing all this work and you should be compensated. This is a lifestyle you chose, and the whole lifestyle is predicated not on how much money you can generate. It's about how much lives you can change. It's all about being a fisherman of men. So for you or anybody to say, okay, well, I should get this or that, whatever, when the true focus should be on what you're doing. I think that's what becomes the problem. Not to say he can't wear Jordans.
Why can't you do both, though? Why can't you live okay and still do and give back to the community? And
because it runs counter to everything. That's why Jesus taught the parable about the rich man. That's why he always talked about, if you actually watch.
But back then, there were way more poor people than there are rich
It had
people.
nothing to do with that. It had everything to do, because rich is rich. And it ain't got nothing to do. There's poor people now, there's rich people here, just like in any moment in history. Like, to sit there and act like it's a whole lot of rich people. Like, 1% of this country owns like almost half the wealth of this country. So you can make literally the same argument. But the point he was making was that the focus shouldn't be on the money. It should be on what you're doing.
So what Guru was saying is, why can't he still just look nice while doing that?
But once again, me saying that you don't need all that is not the same as saying that you shouldn't look nice. Looking nice doesn't require you to spend $1,000 in your outfit.
But if you if you enter into a certain tax bracket, you
Once
look at
again,
$1,000 like
once again.
So
how much you think should a preacher make?
How much do I think the preacher should make?
Yeah.
I think the preacher should make something comfortable. First of all, most mega churches they own like the houses. They own like the properties or whatever. I mean, even some small churches, even like Catholic churches, they actually built the houses and they actually live on the site. So you should have a decent house. You should have a decent car. I'm not saying you should live like shit.
What you think? Salary,
all right, to live off of? If the church is doing all that, if the church is providing all that other stuff, I think $50K.
Preacher, leave that church in the quickness.
But you doing it that's my point thing. You doing it for the wrong reasons then.
But
you doing it for the wrong reasons.
So how can you not do God's work and live comfortably? That's the biggest misconception I have. Somebody can do I'm saying somebody can do this. Like, the nurses have a problem with people that work at the plant or the athletes because they make more, but their job means more. Mm-hmm. So would you tell a football player you need to make only $50,000 a year?
Because a football player is not doing it to change anybody's life. A football player is doing it because he's trying to make a whole bunch of money. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody don't play for the same reason.
It's two different intent. Wait, time out. It's two different intent. A pastor, if your intent is to make as much money like a football player, then you in it for the wrong reasons. That's my point. A Christianity and being a pastor isn't about how much money you have. It isn't about trying to live like a football player. It isn't about how much money can I generate for a church. It's about the life you live. It's all about being a light for Christ. And so if the money you make is in any part of the equation, yes, you need resources, which is why I think people harp on pastors like that, because it's like, okay, yeah, you need resources. You need to do different things. Like if you want to throw like a vacation Bible school, or if you want to do something in the neighborhood, if you want to take care of the elderly and the sick. Yes, that requires money. That requires resources, which is why I think people harp on the fact that they see these pastors spending all this money that could go towards those ends on themselves. And even if you are making enough money to necessarily, quote unquote, do that within your own community, then that money can go towards doing it even more, to getting more people or reaching out even further to other communities. And I think these the overall point that people are trying to make. And that's what I hate when people try to compare Christians versus secular people. Well, Beyonce do this, but Beyonce ain't trying to change your life. She's just trying to sell records. This person is supposed to be trying to change your life.
If you ask those artists, they say that is their goal. We want to reach people with our
They want to reach people and make money. They want to make money. They want to make their music and make money.
But
that isn't the end goal. Like, they're not just singing just so they can sing. Like, if they could sing for free, right? If they could sing for free, they wouldn't do it. Christianity is supposed to be something totally different than that.
But
you have people dying for their belief.
So here's my thing.
Nobody's going to die for singing.
Here's my thing. With the church, though, whenever you basically on 24/7 call, you got to go do everything that you want them to do, that takes time away from their family.
And who chose to do that?
Here's my thing, though. So if no one chose to be a pastor because it was too demanding, then where would people go for church?
That's the point. Dude, you making my point for me. What's the point of Christianity?
If they chose that.
The point of Christianity is to follow Christ. Christ wasn't out there driving the hottest chariot. He wasn't out there driving or wearing the hottest threads.
He was the son of God.
I mean, honestly, we don't know. We don't know that, though.
We do know that.
How?
We do not. Dog, they talk about the man's hair looked like wool and his feet were like brown. Like, they described Jesus. Jesus wasn't out there. He was out there in the wilderness with 12 other dudes.
You sure that book hadn't been rewritten about 1 million times before it got to us?
This is why I'm not religious. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that's the only reason I'm saying that is.
But I'm just saying, according to the Bible, dude wasn't out there Like, he showed up on a donkey. He didn't show up on a horse. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things, he was born in a manger. Like, dude talked about, he was actually, like, anti-money. Like, if you look at all his parables, if you talk, like, look at the Beatitudes.
But
no,
also,
blessed are the poor. He didn't say blessed are the rich.
Also, he didn't need the money because he broke bread, he could make food, turn water into wine.
But wait, time out. So you're supposed to follow this dude's example. So this man, God, like, we really want to have this theological conversation. So this man, the Son of God, can take care of himself, take care of all these people in history, save a guy from being swallowed from a whale, save a guy from being eaten from a lion, but all of a sudden can't take care of you and you living your life based on his principles? Is that what you're telling me? That you need $1 million because God can't take care of you?
We didn't say $1 million.
But that's what you're telling me, though.
No, I didn't say $1 million. I said, why can't you live? I didn't say why can't you have the same salary as Ty Gurley. I said why.
But you brought up football players.
I'm saying I'm saying because of how nurses look at football players and say my job means more. So why do I have to live at a lesser standard than you? That's what I was saying. I'm not talking about salary.
Because most people get those. Because most people sign up for those jobs because of the money.
But
like I
every Sunday, more people show up at a football game than they do church.
Because you are a pastor because you are trying to follow Christ because your life was changed based on whatever teachings you heard, not because you was like, okay, I can make X amount of dollars doing this.
But what if that church is drawing in more money than it ever has?
Then that money is supposed to be used for the greater good, not for you.
So what if you have? What if you purchased a new building? What if you done renovations to another building? What if you've opened up other programs? But you like, all right, I'll dip into this. You know what? I'll go ahead and get this.
But here's if your church is properly ran right, there's a board of treasury directors. So your check is just like a job, like a payroll department. Yeah. It's cut out to you like here.
Exactly.
You agree on
you already know what you're gonna get.
So that's what I'm saying though. That is what you and plus you can go make money at other churches speaking like pastor. That's what I was saying.
That's supposed to be for the greater good, and I think that's the reason people have for it. Trying to compare them to secular people when you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be in the world, not of the world. And all of a sudden, we want to compare them to the world and act like, okay, what is a fair comparison?
But you tell me you cannot. Everybody else trade their time for money, but you still.
Once again, you are not everybody else. You are not in it to be like everybody else. Once again, you are the light of the world. You are supposed to be in this world, not part of the world. You are supposed to be different. If not, all of a sudden you're telling me, well, it's not fair for this person to work this job. Like this is supposed to be a lifestyle. This is supposed to be your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, this wasn't looked at as, okay, a paying job. I'm not saying, once again, pastors shouldn't have families and they shouldn't be taken care of. That is not what I'm saying. But there's a difference between taking care of and being paid millions of dollars.
I say $100K salary is fine. I'm not saying you're supposed to make $5 million a year. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Not make $5 million. You can buy Yeezys if you save up. You do what you want.
I'm not even saying they shouldn't buy Yeezys. I'm just saying I can understand the argument.
But like I said, with that, don't let it be just solely based off what you see.
And the people
wearing.
that's criticizing the Christians aren't even Christians. You don't hear from the Christian community beefing with the pastors. It be people
because you know what?
You hear them beefing.
I'm talking about far as the judgment like that.
Because it's once again, you are out there promoting a lifestyle. You're not even adhering to it yourself. That's where it becomes a problem. Like if I'm always telling you don't do drugs and then you catch me out there smoking crack, you can be like, wait a minute, see? It's like, wait a minute, you out there smoking crack. You
sound like a YouTuber to me.
Yeah, it does. But you know what I'm saying? You're going to hold me accountable. You're going to hold me accountable for that. You can be smoking weed all day, but because I'm the one out there peddling a certain standard and then I don't live up to that same standard that I'm peddling, then it becomes a problem. And then it becomes an issue. Once again, it's hypocritical if I'm trying to hold you to my standard. But I'm holding you to your own standard. You are the one pushing this, not me. So if you're not even living to your own standard, then I can't at that moment be like, yo, you're not living up to it.
But because someone's not living up to that standard, does that make you not want to live up to the standard as well? I don't. Because
I don't choose to be a Christian.
Okay, here's my thing. If another Christian isn't being the best Christian, that doesn't give me an excuse to not be it or say, you know what, I shouldn't follow you because you being your Christian. You went to school with people who didn't do homework, who didn't pay attention. Did that make you not pay attention in class? No, you just said that's how I not to be.
I'm not saying that person made me not want to be a Christian. I'm just talking about from a general respect because you see somebody missing the mark or not being perfect. But if you see enough of those people missing the mark, you do get a bad taste in them. I'm like, you know what?
But
I'm not gonna fuck with that.
But you see that every day.
We see that with the sneaker community. That don't stop us from buying sneakers or being involved in it. It just causes us to choose our company. That's it.
I agree with you.
That's what
I'm just saying. But it does have an impact though. Like for instance, I buy sneakers a lot, but you know we've been to enough sneaker cons and we see how it's starting to devolve. Where it's like, you know what? I'm not even sure you want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like to that specific event, and so that particular taste leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. I give people the example. like if you get enough food poisoning, if you go to McDonald's, right, and you get enough food poisoning at McDonald's, just say you just go to a couple of them. You ain't been to every McDonald's, you just been to a couple of them. But if you get enough food poisoning from that McDonald's, you can be like, yo, I'm just gonna write off McDonald's for a while, if not ever. You know what I'm saying? You're just not gonna go to McDonald's at all because of how many McDonald's I gotta go to and get food poisoning before I realize, you know what, maybe it's just McDonald's. And I think that's how people look at it. It's like, yeah, I ain't been to every church on the planet, but I've been to enough to have a bad taste in my mouth, so I'm just gonna write it off altogether. And I can understand.
But here's my thing: people choose that because women talking about dudes are dogs and cheaters, but they still go on to date another dude and another dude. If you felt like that, and I went here a woman said that, if you felt like all men is trash, why don't you date women?
True.
Oh, the women you chose, the date you did chose were whack, and then you still. That's how I feel about it. If you
but I don't think. But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't feel like that's an apt comparison because there's only two sexes. Like religion is like a million of
But
them.
you still have a choice to be heterosexual or not.
True, but that's what I'm saying. But you only have two choices in that regard. Like what I mean, or three actually. Go abstinent, right? As opposed to religion, because once again, if you really want to break it down, there's no real way to prove which religion is real, which is why I just think it's a first altogether. That's my own personal belief. Not to say that you should not be a Christian. If you want to be a Christian, that's on you. I don't care. But I do understand why people say, like, wait a minute, why are you spending all this money on this? Because you are set to a whole different standard. You are set to a whole different set of principles. I don't look at a football player the same way I look at a pastor. A pastor is supposed to be a moral light, moral compass. You know what I'm saying? Like they are here to follow the lifestyle of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't look at a football player and like, well, why is he drinking? I don't get. Look at him.
Football players, athletes are underneath.
They are, but I'm just saying, most people look at them as football players, especially when they try to come out and like you just want to shut up and dribble, right? For some people, but my whole thing, and like LeBron, like he can choose to do that, but like even if he didn't, like I wouldn't hold that against him. I wouldn't be like, oh, he didn't start a school or he didn't do all this good stuff. If he was a great basketball player, he's a great basketball player. Like all that stuff that Michael Jordan didn't do, is that like people knock him for it, but has it really impacted his?
Here's my thing. It doesn't impact because his demographic was just broadened.
Because people looked at him as a basketball, like, yo, as long as you play basketball, because that's what you was paid to do, for the most part.
But we also look at it. Us from a black community, we look at things from a different lens. Okay, we know as an unwritten rule, when you go back, you make sure you reach and you help somebody out, or you give back to your community which brought you up. Right. It's an unwritten rule as the black. Every other ethnicity doesn't have that. The Jewish community live by that. The Chinese, everybody else, but we don't. So that is why we have this unwritten rule. When you go back, reach back. I tell people all the time, LeBron don't have to do nothing for Detroit or LA because that community didn't make him. As long as you do for Akron and the Cleveland area, that is why. And now we held Mike because you were the first one and bust the doors wide open to who did you really bring along with you, or what did you do? You could have did things here and there, and I feel like he didn't step up his thing until LeBron started getting the light, and he's so competitive, he upped his giving and made things more public. So I think,
and I agree with you on that point, but it still doesn't negate, like people, regardless of what he did off the court and whatever, like that still has no impact on people seeing him as the greatest player of all time.
Well, that part of it does because his
for
shoes
some people, but not enough.
His shoes and what Michael Jordan did for basketball as a whole, on and off the court, is why people call him the greatest. He didn't score the most points. He didn't have the most rebounds.
But we talk about a collective. Well, first of all, we talking about the greatest. It's a collection of things. It isn't just one thing.
Yeah, that's why off of the court matters too.
Right. No, I'm talking about like off the court as far as what LeBron's doing. Like LeBron is a far better person. Optically.
Yes.
Optically, he's a far better person off the court. Like, I can't tell you what Michael Jordan did or didn't do because I wasn't with him. But we see what LeBron. Well, we know that. But we know what LeBron did. Like, LeBron opened up a school, and the latest story is that the test scores are just going up. And that was for, like, trouble youth. Right? So, LeBron's been doing a lot of stuff off the court. So, if you want to just look at that off the court, he's closer to, like, Muhammad Ali as opposed to Michael Jordan, for me.
But LeBron dresses nice.
But here's my thing.
Yeah, but I don't look at him to be a moral compass. Like he chooses to do that, and that's on him.
But I feel like it's
like nobody threw that on him. Like nobody said, LeBron, you must be a moral compass. Like that's something that's just in his nature. That's what makes him the person he is.
But but you're also more in tune with the black community.
I would say that too.
Yeah,
I would.
That's what we kind of hold against Mike. We still support him because he was a black man doing it, but he didn't really embrace.
But do we
it
really
much.
hold it against him though?
Yeah, people
Like, in
do.
what way?
I think it's held against him
Now
now because you see what
LeBron
LeBron
is
has
doing,
done.
yes.
Yeah.
Right, but it's all like lip service because you're not gonna stop buying his shoes. You're not gonna stop watching like that documentary that's coming out. Is nobody gonna watch it because Michael Jordan didn't open up a school too? No, everybody's gonna watch that shit.
I mean, but it could be bad PR.
What bad PR as far as?
I mean, in terms of what gets revealed in that documentary.
When I saw the clip when he called Scottie Pippen selfish,
I was like, ooh. I was
like, hold on,
talking about the popcorn, the kettle. Like,
I said that's what it's going to really.
I'm here for.
So that's
it.
why I say it could ruffle.
And that's supposed to be for.
Feathers.
What thing we'll see?
Is it 7 days straight? It's like a hour every day, right? Or
my thing is, it's probably going to let you know that Michael Jordan isn't much different. Back then, isn't much different than hot players are now. You just with as many cameras around and with social media.
It's gonna make you
Agreed.
respect.
Yes,
it's gonna make you respect why
like,
Kobe is the way Kobe was.
Yeah, so if you blame Kobe, if you blame Kobe for like that, you can't blame Bron.
Exactly.
Okay, Mike was just like that. Now it's only gonna give the Kobe and Bron fans more argument. Like, hold on, your thing was just like ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
no, I definitely agree with you on that. But that's the benefit of living in the '90s, as opposed to living now. Like some people, like you look at certain people, and you like, okay, like would they have had the career they had they lived in another era? Case in point, like I don't even know why I'm thinking about this. I think my daughter brought him up, but like Justin Bieber, like he came up because of YouTube. Yeah, a whole bunch of YouTube videos got enough attention, people saw it. Nah, had he been born, let's just say 15 years prior, where there was no YouTube, would he still have been Justin Bieber? Probably not. Probably not.
He can still sing though, but
I mean, there's a lot of them that can sing though. Like to say that he would have been picked out of that bunch,
He probably would have.
I don't know.
I mean, he was a decent.
hey, back
Because
then,
you know why?
He was a
15 years
clean
ago,
cut little kid.
But
Because
you,
it requires
you still
you-
had NSYNC, you had Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
So he
Oh,
was-
time out, but those other people was connected though. But like that's my point. Like you back then, you had to have the right person. It was a matter of luck. Sometimes you had to run into the right person. Like Mary J. Blige, she was singing at the mall. Somebody just happened to hear her. Was the AR of some company signed her to a deal. Back then, it was a lot harder because you had to get in front of the right people for that move to be made, as opposed to YouTube, where you can put it out there and have.
I mean, but there are showcases. There are places where you can go.
That's what I'm saying.
Star
but-
Search, he
That's
would've
my
been
point
a
though.
big
But
Star
like,
Search.
right, he could have went to Star Search, but there's a lot of people that went to Star Search that didn't have careers. So to say that definitively he would have been,
Man, he would have ended up on the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yes, or the Disney Channel. He would have got. He would have got.
He would have got on.
He would have got.
to,
it.
right?
He
But
would've got
you're saying
on.
that now because you know he ended up having a career. But my point is, there's a lot of talented.
Well, I'm
kids.
just saying from his look, from his privilege, he had a shot.
Yeah.
His chances improved now, but he still had like a 60% chance. Of
I'm
making
just
it
saying,
back
like,
then.
there's a lot of kids. It's not like there's a lack of
Of
white kids with talent.
Of anything, it would have took him longer to get on than what it did.
And possibly, I'm not to say that he wouldn't get on, but I'm just saying it wouldn't have been definitive. It wouldn't have been a definite because it's a lot harder. You
Well,
take
even
away.
YouTube now, it's 1,000 people on YouTube.
Yeah, now
Well, it's
but when
5%.
YouTube first started, like he was one of the first people that took advantage of it, like and was really pushing it. Him, Soulja Boy, like those people really pushed it. Now everybody and their mother is putting audition tapes and mixtapes on there in the hopes that somebody
and doing sneaker reviews.
sneaker reviews, right? Like think about it, like sneaker, like think about sneaker YouTube. Like it started off with like a handful of people. Not everybody and their mama is doing it, which is why it's so congested. So if you was one of those first people that were lucky enough to start it off, just like this podcast, we was like one of the first. OSD Live came before us, but they had stopped, for a while before we started doing it, and we kind of caught it in the right space at that time. Now everybody and their mama wants to start a sneaker podcast, which I'm not against, but
Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all because I used to watch when y'all used to have it on YouTube.
so yeah,
Like real talk.
Yeah,
I remember. I do remember them. I remember watching them. Be like, man, them guys cool. I could be on there.
and look, 10 years
Yeah,
later,
exactly. It took some time, but I was like Justin Bieber. I was gonna get a shot eventually.
we didn't see audition tape on YouTube. That was quite the lively conversation. I didn't get to none of the shit I wanted to get to. How much time we got?
We got very religious the day after Easter.
Yeah, we did. I really did. Like, this is what I hate, though, because I grew up, like, very, very religious. Like, when I say very, like, I was at church all the time. And, like, from sun up to sundown, because my aunt was, like, the church secretary. So, if I dropped off at school, picked up, went to church, and she wouldn't leave till, like, almost midnight. Ooh. Yeah. And that's every day.
Also, I feel like your experiences, because things like that make people turn away from it. Just like if you kid be sheltered and you let them go out, they're gonna end up being
go
rebellious.
crazy.
So I think you gotta have a balance.
That has impact on it, but then but I always tell people, like, you get to see people outside of Sunday, right? Like, 'cause everybody gives you their Sunday face on Sunday, right? Like everybody dressed nice and smiling and stuff. But when you start seeing the deacon throw like a communion cup at somebody and they get to an argument, or you see, you know, the old church lady cussing out another old church lady, which I cannot get out of my mind no matter how hard I try. That is the funniest visual.
And I think the other thing too is because kind of like how you say you grew up kind of like very religious.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of somewhat in the same boat. Like my dad was a deacon like all while I was little.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah. So
So is he one of those like? Well, it depends on the church too, because like these churches now are nice. Like they 2-hour service, you can wear whatever you want to, air conditioning. Was it those old churches with the fans that didn't circulate air?
For sure. No, the building was always messed up.
The funeral home advertisement on the fan.
Yeah. No, the building was always messed up. I mean, the thing I can always remember with him was, and it's what opened my eyes up to how all of this really works, is when he would be just coming home and he'd be mad about going to like a church meeting. They talking about how much the pastor want to make. And it's like it opens up that ugly visual of, wait a minute, you are in this for the money. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you really, all of this stuff that you come up here on Sunday and try and tell people, it kind of is a little bit backwards as opposed to, you know, how you want to live. Because you're seeing how some of the other pastors are a little bit more prosperous because of maybe their influence could be a little bit different, and you're kind of like, okay, well,
It
I
says
can do
in
the
the Bible,
same
the
thing.
love of money is the root of all evil. Like
I also feel like too.
I'm not saying I gotta live in a box.
How someone, here's my thing. People feel like as you're Christians, you have a compass to do things. Yes, you fall short of glory. You still human in the beginning. Jesus' homeboys told on him and lied. Did he start rolling with him? No, he did. You know what I'm saying? So
that was his guys to the end.
yeah. So
I mean,
that's,
he died like 2 days later.
Except for Judas.
I mean, yeah.
Who
Judas,
lied on him? Like,
Judas,
right.
Judas.
Yeah,
something-
he died
yeah,
like
so-
literally the next
And
day.
then he could have just rose from the cross and said, "No, I'm gonna die for you." But I'm saying, like, even you don't have, you still short of the glory. You're not perfect. It's just that compass. I feel like if I didn't go to church, a lot of people would get a piece of my mind from family
see, you know what?
all the way.
There's a difference in that attitude, though. There's a difference between saying, okay, I mess up and I'm going to get back up and keep walking versus I messed up, fuck you, everybody messed up. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a
because I
difference in
feel like
attitude.
it's how people attack. I feel like Christians have a better reputation in checking Christians, even though you have a valid point. Like if somebody who's not in sneakers told you spend too much money on shoes, it's like, bro,
They
you
be right.
Yeah. I mean, but you would take it a certain way.
Be like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I
But
get
you're not. But
but I
if
think-
Eugene say, bro, you need to slow down. You can take.
I
it
think the
differently.
angst, though, comes from, like, the history of religion in this country, though, because you got a lot of laws that impact other people, like gay marriage. Like, that impacts people that ain't even trying to be Christians, ain't got nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like, you are a religious person. Your religion ain't got nothing to do with them, and their lifestyle ain't got nothing to do with you. So,
But
it's like,
here's my thing though. But you can't. The government.
we ain't
chose,
talking about sneakers on
the,
an
yeah,
hour.
government chose. The government chose that. That's not on us because.
But there's a lot of religious lobbying groups that like become vocal minorities and influence a lot of those laws. Like you couldn't drink on Sundays. Why? Because
Well,
religion.
here's my thing. Well, that was before religion got to where it is. And back then, it was super conservative. All that.
When?
So I'm saying back then when they were
back.
like before. When
It's
these
always
were-
been influenced.
I mean,
in-
I'm saying my thing is. Now,
Yeah, but it was more conservative where like what you just said, like the laws were kind of like tailored behind
Yes.
religious beliefs.
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. But I mean, it still is though. I mean,
That's
you got
because-
Yeah,
But
but
there's-
there are
there
so
were-
many more people. There are groups now that are more open to those things versus back then where you wouldn't speak out.
Oh no,
against any of
and
that.
it's definitely gotten better. I'm just saying, but that's what you like when you have a history. Just like we talk about, like, you know, slavery, like we still feel the impact of it in 2019. Yeah, it happened years ago, but there's still an impact that we can
But
still
the
feel.
biggest problem we got with slavery and the impact now
Oh, God.
is because the people who grandparents who that mentality has trickled down, and then now we can't even forgive y'all for it because y'all doing other clown stuff.
But that's the, I mean, but that's the point I'm making. Because that still happens.
But Christians are, like,
Maybe not on a exaggerated level as that, but it still happens.
But now we don't say you can't come in here and we think you a stud. You think you you're cool. We always say your life that's between you and God. You come in and do church pay or whatever.
Wait, Tom, I'm gonna stop you there because your church might do that. I'm talking about as far as passing laws and legislation. There's a lot of people.
But here's my thing though. But a lot of them have laws like Catholic and especially a lot of Republicans who are heavy Catholic and Christian, very super conservative.
Yep.
Those are one pressing for the laws. They ain't asking no black Christian people like, what y'all think about this. Why y'all?
Also, a
you know
lot of
what I'm
black
saying?
Christians that's against it.
I'm talking about in the as far as the lawmaking paper. We're not talking about.
No,
laws,
you know why?
laws.
Because like our community, like we're not gonna go out there and march and stuff. But if you ask them, they're gonna be
I'm
just
talking
as
about
against it.
it's not like there's a black person on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, or
I mean, right?
It in terms of that, it kind of was because I mean, you remember when Obama was running for re-election, the one vote he knew he had to go out and get, he got the gay vote.
But my thing is,
and that turned off a lot of
people.
That turned off a lot of people.
I was gonna say that turned away. Like I mean, again, harping back on my dad. My dad is super conservative.
I was on the fence.
And he was looking. He was like, "Why you go and do that?" Like, you know, like.
But but here's my thing: a political thing is a game. You know
exactly. Like I get that.
But you know why he did.
You know why he did it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you understood Obama, but the point still stands that there was still a contingent of people simply based on a religious belief that didn't think this segment of people should have the same rights as everybody else, just strictly based on their religion.
Problem black people have.
So that's what turns people off.
Black people have with the LGBT community because
what's that got to do?
No offense, this is the problem why they have another. Is that we'll go support their movement, but when we're under fire, we getting
we don't get no support.
We don't get no support.
Okay, so now you sprinkling in something else. I'm telling you. No, I get you. In terms of the black community, I 100% agree with you.
Because we got to support ourselves,
right? Yes. But I don't want to conflate different things. I'm just saying I can understand why people have this distrust of, because so many times you have a lot of religious groups try to influence legislation that impacts everybody, not just religious groups, but everybody. And that's what causes the problems. A lot of people is like, you know what, like, forget religion.
But even, and I hate to say this, but even
like they'll say no Sharia law, but they'll throw in Christian law like crazy.
Thing, but also was supposed to be
not that I want either
separate church and state too. But
I agree.
Also too, they feel like when Christianity comes down,
exactly.
Right. When Christianity comes down to, it's like. It's a Caucasian Christian. It's the black Christian. I'm serious. It's not.
There are. It's true
because if that was the case, black people would before.
Can I tell you why I laugh?
Hey, black people would have been switched up their religion.
Can I tell you why I laugh? Because I knew exactly what he was about to say. Because I knew he was going to say Asian Christian, black Christian. Right? I knew he was going to say it.
It's the truth.
It's the truth, though.
It's true. I just knew he was going to say it.
Because he gonna keep it real.
I know, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, we don't. If that's the case, we all would have been Republican. But yeah, you Christian, bro. But you ain't riding for us like you on some other stuff. Like,
right. No, I knew he was gonna say it. That's why I tickled. Because sometimes you can just look at Guru and you can see the words coming across his forehead. Like, it's like, oh man, he's about to say it, and then he does, and it's like, oh boy. But no, I mean, a lively conversation. Like I said, playing devil's advocate, I can understand both sides of it. I understand Guru's side, but somebody has to argue, right? But
what somebody said to me, oh, you got some South Beach Browns on. What you talking like, man?
Right.
I just pray to Jesus.
Like you said, he could have got it for free. He could have got it for free. Somebody could.
But I mean, but like what Guru said, what if he saved his money up?
Right. But I understand people saying like, okay, like enough of that money could have.
I mean, but you know the biggest problem with that,
if his church members,
especially when you see like a Creflo Dollar asking this.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm not going to for the moment. But if his church members had a problem with it. Cool, but if you don't go to his church and you not part of that,
why are you speaking on it?
Thank you.
To me, that's the same thing as like how people count other people's pockets.
Thank you.
I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying with that.
I agree with you on that. But it was a topic. I mean, because I guess I just saw
because I always see I think the guys from out of here. It's always the one pastor that's got like the beard that all he does is wears Yeezys and Off-Whites and stuff.
Look, I don't care either way because I don't go to church and I don't see it often. I just so happen to see the group earlier this week, and I was like, that's interesting. Like, it didn't take any time out of my day. And then all of a sudden, I start seeing a bunch of people writing threads on it, and I've seen videos being posted on it.
At the end of the day, he might have a plug.
And honestly, it might. And honestly, because I mean, I had other stuff planned for today's show, and so like I just kind of brought it up, not thinking that it would turn into what it turned into.
I think it's definitely a healthy argument because, like you said, you can turn that back into anything.
And my thing is, even though it was more so religion, but that's another problem that's inside the sneaker community is people judging of which you can afford and which you cannot do it. But my thing is, that's a problem because some people will try to make it look like they're having a lifestyle that they don't, or some people feel like they have to buy this shoe so people won't judge on it, or people, and I've been guilty of this too, like, what this dude doing with Zoom Generation on, bro? You weren't rocking with that show. But if I'm going to be somebody who has a platform in the sneaker community, I have to embrace people differently, or say, hey, you know what, bro, you should go about this.
But see, to me, that's always different because there's nothing wrong with embracing somebody, but you can only embrace somebody that wants to be embraced. Because you got a lot of these people that we always talk about now that just hop right into the game, that show no humbleness, They want to run around talking about, oh yeah, I've been doing this. I've been had off-whites. Okay, you had off-whites, but like what we always say,
How you been had? It only came out 2 years ago.
Well, on top of that, you don't have no GRs. You got no general release. So you really not a sneaker. You really not into this because everybody's gonna have some general releases.
Everybody think you don't have to cop everything right away. If you really in the sneaker game, you can have stories like, man, I had to sit out like 3-4 months of releases.
On top of that, I should know everything that you can cop. You should have like about 4-5 pair just sitting in the stash that I don't know nothing about.
And I hate to oversimplify it as if you don't have any general releases in your collection, you probably a hype beast, but that typically rings true because it's like because sneakerheads buy shoes based on if they like them or not. It does not matter how many sitting on the shelves. It don't matter how limited it was. Yes, sneakerheads also like limited shoes, but that's not all they are about.
I mean, like the same way how I clowned JB for the Jordan Comfort Maxes. He likes Jordans, right? He got those. I'm pretty sure some other Jordans he probably think back and say, man, I really bought those, but he liked the brand.
Right. In the same basement, he'll have some Ray Allen PEs and he'll have some Fusions. Like, if that ain't a sneakerhead, then I just don't know what is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't just all PEs in his basement. It ain't just all the most limited releases.
I love me some general releases.
I do.
Catch them on sale.
I'm with you. Like, I mean, most of the shoes I bought this year was probably general releases, like low-key.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm going after this. Especially now, like, I know, like, it's going to be everybody and their mama going after this one shoe. I'm just going to save myself the chaos because I'm too old to deal with some of this stuff sometimes. I'd rather just go ahead and get some other shoes. Like, I got, like, a list of shoes, a long list.
I told you, that's why I didn't want to get those Dog Walker Dunks because it was like, I can put that money towards something else. Or just
move to the West where you got more stores you can go to, man.
Yeah. God damn this dude. I hate Guru.
Got a mall you can go to in the summertime.
I got.
They only got
Creek.
You got you can go there all the time though. You got heaters all over the place.
So I'm not walking.
Yeah, but it ain't that many people walking around there in the wintertime.
Oh shit, bullshit.
Well, that's because Lakeside is so trash in comparison.
Shit, most malls are trash.
Lakeside fell off. Oakland Mall fell off.
Yeah.
Macomb came back though.
Northland fell off.
Macomb came back. Yeah,
what the?
Macomb came back.
I don't know what they're doing, but everybody else needs to follow suit.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Universal trying to come back.
They are. Universal.
They trying to be Partridge Creek for like trailer park.
Man, Universal been trying to come back for about the past 20 years.
Because they trying to. There for the movies.
I had to stop going there after a while.
Good dollar show.
That's because the East Side got real tough, man.
Oh boy.
I never say on no. That's so you know what East Side bad when you live on the East Side, you had to stop going to places. Me being the West Side,
I want to live.
I went that I had to stop going because
I never saw that. Look, people was getting shot. Look,
what
is anything on any place on the website you had to stop going because it got terribly bad?
I mean, if it was already terribly bad, and I didn't go there to begin with.
So
people was getting shot on the East Side and the West Side. It wasn't just on one side. Nah, if I know that I'm in danger,
shot every day, B.
People on the West Side get shot after 8:00. Y'all shoot all day long.
What?
Yes.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I feel like y'all got more hit and runs, too.
Yes. Drive-bys.
Yeah.
I feel like that's indicative of the city.
Nah.
I feel like a lot of them be happening on the East, though.
Like the East Side. Some of my grad shit, 75 shoot, I was all on the East, bro.
That happens a lot.
I just saw a video over there by, I forgot, it was someone on the East Side. The dude hit the lady parked car. It was like the Tahoe was like on top of her car. Hop out. Oh, go ahead.
Let me do the, what's the name, before Guru goes off on another tangent. Release dates brought to you by SneakerBarDetroit.com, the #1 source of sneaker news and release dates. Friday, April 26th, we have the women's Air Jordan Retro 12 Reptile, the Ambush Special Edition Nike Air Max 180 pack, the Nike Air Max 720 Fuel Orange, the Marvel Special Edition Adidas Basketball Heroes Among Us pack or collection, the Donald Glover Special Edition Adidas pack, the Henderson Special Edition Adidas Original Spring Summer 2019 collection. Reebok is bringing back the Alien Fighter Bishop for the 40th anniversary. And then Under Armour has the Spawn Anatomics Sub-Zero. Saturday, April 27th, you have the Air Jordan Retro 13 Cap and Gown, the Nike Fear of God Spring Summer 2019 collection, the Nike Women's Air Max 95 Psychic Pink, the Nike React Element 87 Orange Peel, the Adidas Yeezy 700 Boost Analog, and the Pharrell Special Edition Adidas Crazy BYW Low Ash P Deep Purple Night Red.
It's a nasty-ass sounding color.
Mm-hmm. Tuesday, April 30th, you have the Nike LeBron 16 Remix. Wednesday, May 1st, you have the Nike Air Force One Low, Flyknit 2.0 coming out in 3 colors, Black Pure Platinum and White, College College Navy, white obsidian, and then white and pure platinum. And then you have the Adidas Night Jogger Active Blue and the Adidas Ultra Boost SNL Heather Gray and Cloud White and Blue. Thursday, May 2nd, you have the Nike P6000 Concept, black and white. The Nike Epic Phantom let's start that over. Nike Epic Phantom React Flyknit. That's the global release. The Nike Air Vapor Max 3.0 Oreo. The Nike Women's Element React Element 55, light blue, gray, orange, and white. 2 colorways of the Nike React Element 55 Premium. That's laser fuchsia and tour yellow. 2 colorways of the Nike React Element 87. That's the dusty peach, atmosphere gray, and the moss black Eldorado and deep royal blue. Friday, May 3rd, the Travis Scott Special Edition Air Jordan Retro 1 High OG Cactus Jack, the Air Jordan 33 SC Black Cement, the Nike KD12 University Red, the Adidas Dane 5 Lahim the Dream, and the human-made Special Edition Adidas Solar HU Glide. That's a Japan release only. And then Saturday, May 4th, I think we already know, the Air Jordan Retro 4 OG Black Cement, the women's Air Jordan Retro 11 Low Orange Trance, the Nike Air Flight Posit Topaz Mist, and the Motorola Special Edition Puma RSX Tech. So that about wraps up all our release dates. Once again, it's episode 212. Sorry for the distracted conversation. I want to get to some other stuff other than the show, but it is what it is. So we'll see you guys next week. We are out.
Peace.